Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitted for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this, go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing. Keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get dangerous. Cause it can get dangerous. Cause it can get dangerous. Hey, please don't play no games with me. I promise I'm too much. Hey, I can never let up even if you had enough. Hey, this ain't for the faint of heart. We always playing rough. I had enough, it ain't luck. I needed a vision, I needed ambition, I needed a mission to beat in submission with no intermission. I see the collision, the crash and the distance, they coming off track, no. Now when they ask what's the motive, don't talk, I just show them. They all about to see what I mean in the moment. I gotta keep going, I'm shaking the dice and I'm keeping it rolling, they already know. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog. Just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing. Keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get dangerous. Cause it can get dangerous. Cause it can get dangerous. Yeah. Gotta aim for the top like, hold up, yeah. I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles. So I'm in my element, it's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got then, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like pain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well, a penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy, the riches got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me, but known for my city like OAGZ. Set the pace as long as you finish, consumers find a way inside your business. Babylon, they try to dabble in it and they hate the fact that they may have to witness. You tryna aim for the top like this, and you're in your element with a fire like this, and they hoping you fall and they praying you miss, but it's all in the risk. I got you with the switch, you know. I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas. 155 on the road. You could be a friend. Flow is like water, I'm forced through the fire, I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth, following God, and you grinding, you do as you told. I don't work to make you like me, but I'm front and center, word to Spike Lee. And God came in the nick of time, they think I'm crazy, but I might be. Let's run it up, run it up, run it up. We beating the odds just to sum it up. You know it's a rap, never waistlines, and I'm cutting the weight like a tummy tuck. That mean I'm about to give it out right now. You see what's coming down the line, I never pipe down. I give 100% of me, trying to stun on my enemies, in my element is crazy, it's the mic shine. I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas. 155 on the road. You could be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy, cause I know I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element.
Yeah. Salute. We back at it again. What up, though? What up, though? We back at it again. It's Tuesday, Newsday. It's Tuesday, Newsday. Shout out to everybody who is in the building. Appreciate you guys for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. We got a lot of topics to go over today, man. A lot of stuff to talk about. I put out a video a few days ago, a couple of snippets, and I got a pretty good response. I think most people kind of understood where I was going with it. But listen, I know, this is how sports work, right? People are fans of their favorite fighters, and, they're listening closely, and they're wondering, hold on, man, was Clay taking a shot at my favorite fighter? Maybe, maybe I am. I don't know. Depends on how you see it, right? Beauty will always be in the eye of the beholder. That holds truth in many ways, more than one, right? It all depends on how you see it. But I'll tell you personally, from my standpoint, that's not where I was heading with this. I was actually defending Devin Haney in that video, but also keeping it real as to what we're looking at and how the space is played out right now, what it's going to take to put Devin Haney in the biggest fights that boxing has to make. And if anything, more focus at DAZN and what DAZN is been tasked to do. And if they're ready for the task is my biggest question, right? We'll talk about it, though. We'll talk about the Haney tax today. We'll talk about Conor Benn versus Ryan Garcia on the back end of Conor Benn speaking last week. I believe he had an interview where he spoke on moving out of 147 when he's done with this fight with Ryan Garcia. We'll talk about that and what that might mean for the fight between him and Ryan Garcia. We know what Conor Benn coming down from 162 times. He was suspended for a while. He had a couple of fights at 154. He had a catch weight fight at 150. He hasn't been at the 147-pound division for over 4 years, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we all understood very clearly that when he said he was coming down to 147, that this was going to be easier said than done. And it looks like he's acknowledging it as he's going through this camp, acknowledging that this is going to be a very difficult weight cut for him. So we'll talk about what that means going in the division against a Ryan Garcia, one of the biggest punchers in the division, one of the fastest, meanest left hooks in the game today, right? In comparison with some of the best left hooks in history. But more importantly, probably the most dangerous puncher in the 147-pound division right now. Conor Benn going in that fight, having a difficulty cutting the weight. Ugh. Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. Bomac drops a bomb in an interview with The Last Stand with Brian Custer, speaking on the Conor Benn Ryan Garcia fight. And look, Bomac dropped the bomb. We'll talk about what Bomac talked about in that fight, his prediction on what he believes is going to be the wild card in that fight. And, he puts a bold prediction out there, and he says, come find me when the fight is done with, and let's see how you guys felt about my prediction. We'll talk about his prediction as well. Daniel Dubois versus Fabio Wardley 2 looks like it's in the works for mid October, like October 17th or something like that. So it looks like it's going down again. We'll talk about that fight right now. Not right now on the show. Obviously, we'll talk about adjustments, man. Both guys, I'm sure, will come in with the adjustments, but who has the higher ceiling? Who has the room for the most adjustments? Is it too soon for Fabio Wardley? It's about, 5-6 months since the last fight. So, a lot of damage Fabio Wardley took in that last fight. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the adjustments, what we'll need to see. Does Fabio Wardley have enough time to really get ready for this fight? And is Daniel Dubois coming in even more fierce than he did the first time, right? Looks like Jaron Boots Ennis and Josh Kelly may be closer to being done than not being done, right? We'll talk about that as well, because it looks like Josh Kelly is going to be confronted with some potential issues soon if he doesn't make a decision on which direction he's going to go, as there's news and rumors rolling around the space that Bakram Murtazaliev is creeping out in those dark blue waters surrounding Josh Kelly Island. And it looks like if Josh Kelly doesn't make a decision as to what he's going to do as far as unifications are concerned, he might be confronted with a mandatory. He might have to pick his poison sooner rather than later. Jaron Boots Ennis might be in a great position, being that Sebastian Fundora doesn't look like he's particularly in a position to lock in a fight with Josh Kelly either, right? So we got to talk about that and what that looks like for the 154-pound landscape of things and how we're looking at it. We'll dive in a little bit deeper into the Moses Atama Filip Ergovich fight as well today, as we're getting closer and closer to that fight coming full circle. We should be seeing that fight in about 2 weeks, and it's becoming real and really. You guys know I'm a big Moses Atama fan, so I'm a little nervous about this one. I'm rooting for Moses Atama, but this is a tall task, no pun intended, in Filip Hrgović, a very durable fighter. And we haven't seen Moses Atama in those championship rounds. Moses Atama being as durable as he is, Filip Hrgović being as durable as he is, this fight right here gives Moses Atama to really show the space that he's really arrived, to put the whole heavyweight division on notice, right? And we'll talk about that a little bit more as well. Then, of course, we have to dive into the Michelian, the Noel Michelian, Jai Opetaia, and David Benavidez glove triangle. And, funny enough, Noel Michelian puts an interview together with Mike Coppinger. Very revealing interview. We'll talk about that interview. We'll talk about what Noel Michelian spoke about in that interview. Very interesting. Don King, very interesting news. Team Benavidez offers not being sent out. What's taking so long? Once again, the PBC under a little bit of scrutiny here, potentially. We'll talk about it. Here's a community. You guys let me know what you think about it. But this fight has not been put together between David Benavidez and Noel Michelian, and not so much because Noel Michelian was refusing the fight, right? Noel Michelian reveals a lot of interesting things about that whole entire situation, and also reveals on how he feels about the whole Ali act and how it played its role or didn't play its role to protect him in this particular situation, shedding some light on that situation in a way that most of us had to speculate about, but we ain't got to speculate too much longer, because it looks like he pretty much gave it straight up, black and white, about how everything's been working out since he's been with Don King, and in particular what happened with this whole entire Jai Opetaia, David Benavidez love triangle, his inactivity, and his rights as a fighter to be active and to make a living and take care of his family, right? It is what it is. Shout out to everybody in the building. Take a moment to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We're a little loaded. I know a lot of people creating content right now out there, so it is what it is. But shout out to the 21 people in the building right now. Akeem Blake in the building says, guidance, peace allowed until serenity exists. Clay Blessings, what up? Let's cook, no doubt, man. Sam from Jersey says, let's get it. Let's go. My favorite day of the week, no doubt, man. Roger that in the building says, Clay, ATP, let's go, no doubt, no doubt. SOB TV in the building says, salute Claymore. Blessings, brother. RIP to the boy, well connected, one of our boxing brothers. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Nook, man. Rest in peace, Nook. Rest in peace, well connected. I talked to you guys about that last week a little bit. Kind of put everybody on what happened with Nook, man. Rest in peace to Nook, man. Tragic, gone too soon, brother, man. Rest in peace, man. Hope you're doing your thing up there, man. Roger that. Let me see in the building. Sam from Jersey. So this boy can spit. Yeah, that boy can spit on the intro, right? No doubt. Glory of him. Rich Boxing in the building says, salute, Clay. Salute to you. Agent 0777 in the building says, salute, Clay. Salute, salute, salute. Deluxe Recordings 7 in the building says, peace, Clay. Peace to you, family. Peace, peace, peace. Pugilism in the building says, abolish the Haney tax. It's Haney's job to validate the Haney tax. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. We will talk about the Haney tax, man. We will talk about it for sure. And Donnie 956 in the building, salute, salute, salute. Yeah, we will talk about the Haney tax. We are going to talk about it. Matter of fact, we can talk about it right now, right? We can roll right into it. I put a video out addressing this whole entire Haney tax. This is my idea. I came up with the Haney tax, right? And the reason I came up with it, because we've been sitting here watching, salute Clay and Angelo. Salute to I'm Just Want Someone in the building too as well. We've been sitting here watching Devin Haney try to put a fight together ever since the Brian Norman Jr. fight, right? Ever since that fight, we've been watching Devin Haney on the hunt for a big fight. Very interesting to watch it, because we saw immediately after that fight with Brian Norman Jr., Devin Haney was on top of the world, especially on the back end of a Turkey show like that. We thought Turkey and Devin were back on the same page, and we were ready to see big fights roll out. Who was it going to be next for Devin Haney? Was it going to be Teofimo Lopez? Was it going to be another one of the champions? Was it going to be Lewis Crocker at the time? Was it going to be Rolly Romero? Was it going to be Conor Benn potentially? He was sitting ringside at that fight. Was it going to be Ryan Garcia, the big fight that we all wanted to see? We all had big hopes and somewhat of an understanding at that point of what we thought was going on. And even at one point in time, I put here on right here on the channel that Devin Haney was the money man. He was the money. He was everybody's biggest payday in boxing. But things didn't really play out all the way that way, right? As we watched Devin Haney struggle to make the biggest fights. Guys, we talked about it here. I told you guys that I thought it was interesting that Turkey Al-Sheikh wasn't getting in front of this, being that Bill and Devin Haney had a list, And this was a list that Turkey Al-Sheikh supposedly and Bill Haney were on the same page about. And as long as he was going to fight somebody on that list, the biggest paydays were going to be there for Devin Haney. Well, one of the people that were on that list obviously was Keyshawn Davis as well, but even names like Jerome Butenis, there was even rumors of Xander Zayas potentially being a potential opponent. And I mean, there were other fighters on the list too. Obviously, Shakur Stevenson was one, Gervonta Tank Davis. I can't remember the whole list, right? But ultimately, we thought we was getting ready to see the Devin Haney era kick off. We thought we were going to see an active Devin Haney doing his thing, and it just didn't turn out that way for us. So as we're watching the first big negotiation happen, which was between Devin Haney and Rolly Romero, I think that was the first big one, right? Because although Lewis Crocker was in the conversation, I think Eddie Hearn pretty much put that to sleep very early, right? He really laid that to sleep really early and said Devin was going to be too expensive. He wasn't going to pay Devin Haney's asking price, and that the only way he'd be interested in working with Devin Haney is in a multiple fight deal, something to where he could find a way to go ahead and get that money back that he was asking for. You know how Bill and Devin carry it. They're not really into those multiple fight deals. So that fight was pretty much just laid to rest. Eddie kind of just shot that down immediately. But going into the next negotiation, as we were waiting, we heard rumors of him and Rolly Romero being a potential fight. As we watch fights with Rolly Romero fall apart, from Manny Pacquiao to who else? Was it Manny Pacquiao? Was it Ryan Garcia rematch? That wasn't going to happen for him. So it is what it is. We saw that happen, and Devin Haney actually came out and said that the terms were great and that he saw that fight happening, and that was going to be the next great fight. It is what it is. Let me put a pause on that. My guy just popped up. Hold on a second. I just see my guy pop up real quick here. Guys, salute to my guy, man. Angelo Reyes in the building, man. Good, man. What's good? What's good with your family?
You're talking about the Haney tax right off the bat?
Yeah, man. Well, let's go right into it. People were coming to kill me, man. They were upset with me, right? Now, most people agree with me, though. They kind of saw.
I thought it was a good video. You weren't really attacking Devin Haney. You were just saying that, it's the same discussion. All that really happened on that video is it's a discussion we've been having about Haney signing to DAZN. Reportedly, him taking less money to be with DAZN. I think I sent you that one, right? And how is DAZN? How does it work for DAZN, guys? You guys explain it to us, because you guys that keep attacking, like, Clay did the video, and then you guys are attacking him like it's his fault or something, right? But my question is, just like in an NFL team, shout out to my Raiders, who's playing this Thursday, first preseason game of the year.
Good luck to you, motherfuckers. Good luck. Good luck.
Well, it's preseason, so who cares, right? But it's just nice that football's back. But just like in an NFL team, you have a salary cap. And I feel like DAZN has a salary cap. So why is it so hard? Like, if you're willing to pay whatever you were going to pay Devin Haney, right? What is it? Bill kept talking about Britton Harden. Shout out to Britton Harden. Britton Harden really made it happen. Well, if Harden really made it happen, then why not just pay whatever it is for Paro? Because Devin wants to fight for the IBF. He just tweeted about it. He just said, "Yeah, I want the IBF belt." Okay, right. Cool, man. If I'm Liam Paro and I got the IBF belt, just like Noel McCallan. Noel McCallan's like, I've been talking to the Jai guys about fighting him since March. You guys in the traditional space are weirdly trying to get in the way with it. I'm getting paid a lot of money, so unless you wanted to really overpay me, why would I sit there and not fight the guy, Jai, right? So same thing, man. Why would Liam Paro have any other choice, Clay? You explained it to me, which I know in the video you were just kind of, you weren't even really like criticizing one or the other. You were just kind of laying out the land. You were just laying out the land on how things work.
I thought it was worth speaking on this elephant in the room, which is how come it's so hard to make a fight with Devin Haney Devin Haney. Why is this an issue at this point? I mean, somebody who came off the back end of Brian Norman Jr., a dominating performance, some might say, right? Me and you were convinced. We called him the best 147-pounder in the world, so it was a great performance for us. We called it, and we like what we saw, right? No complaints over here. And we wanted to see the big fights. We thought we was going to roll right into the Devin Haney era. We thought that it was up. 147, here we go. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Rolly Romero, Devin Haney, Connor Benn, Devin Haney, Lewis Crocker at the time, Devin Haney, whoever the hell Devin Haney wants to fight. Matter of fact, is what we're saying, because we were like, the biggest payday is going to be fighting Devin Haney. But I'm starting to look back at that and said, maybe we put our cart in front of the horse. Maybe we moved a little too fast, Angelo. Maybe we jumped a little too quick and got a little too excited, because after failed negotiation and failed negotiation and failed negotiation and potentially another negotiation is about to fail, rumors of him and even Xander and Jerome Boots Ennis and all kinds of super fights, and even a Manny Pacquiao fight was brought up at one point in time as a potential fight that was on the table, but none of them came to fruition. So I'm like, you know what? I think it's fair play to at least bring it up to the community and get some opinions and present it to the community and say, what do you guys got for us? Because I'm lost. I don't know what to say. And all I can think about is every single time there's a fight that needs to be put together, it falls apart because of money. And we know this is prize fighting, so it's nothing new to us. We understand how prize fighting works, but it gets even more interesting on the back end of Zuffa potentially getting ready to sign Devin Haney, which we know Zuffa's in a position to spend premium dollar. They're not looking for a profit as much as they're looking to grow a whole entire brand. So just like when Devin Haney first got with Eddie Hearn over at Matchroom, he was getting those big paydays. They were looking to use Devin Haney's likeness to invest in the idea of Devin Haney potentially being a big star one day. They were paying him premium dollar. And they, according to Eddie Hearn, weren't making that money back. Right? This is what Eddie Hearn said, that, yo, we don't make no money with Devin. Our whole idea was we were investing in him and we thought we were going to recoup it later, and it didn't turn out that way. Devin moves around and never really sat down with us and, you know, was loyal enough to us to give us an opportunity to recoup on all of the investment we made in him, which is business. Nobody's holding Devin Haney accountable for that and saying he's not allowed to do that. But that being said, you signed this deal with DAZN now. Fine. I'm with that. That's what's up. Wherever you can get it, wherever your bread is buttered, brother, wherever your bread is buttered. Then I'm hearing it was a smaller deal.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Less money.
So in my mind, you know what I said to myself? Because you know when you're trying to tell yourself the right thing to get yourself through it, you're trying to get yourself through it. I said, you know what? Devin's being a soldier, man. He's taking less money so they can offer the fighters more money so he can make the big fights. They can't get the fight with Keyshawn. They can't get the fight with Liam Paro. I don't know what's going on with Jack Catterall. And from what I understand, it's pretty quiet over there on Team Haney right now. As far as if you ask Jack Catterall and you ask Liam Paro, they're not talking to us. We're saying we're ready to go. They're not calling us. Why aren't they call? I don't understand what's going on. So I'm confused. So all I can say is I came up in my mind and I said, man, there's a Haney tax. There is a price point involved with making Devin Haney fights that a promoter like DAZN, a network like DAZN, who we already talked about potentially might be financially upside down. Potentially, we don't know. We're not in the books, but we're hearing rumors about their. We have Agent 0777 bring up like legitimate paperwork to say like, listen, man, the team as a company, they've been upside down. They haven't been in a profit for years. So, and they're charging this paywall now, $50, well, $45.99 a month.
It's 50. They raised it. They keep raising it.
Okay, so it's 50. It's 50. Yeah. It's $45.99 for me, or $44.99.
Yeah. For you, you got in early enough.
Right. Yeah. I locked it in. So, but that being said, $50, I'm comfortable with that a month. So they're operating and moving as a company that needs to be positive in the coming years, right? They're trying to make money in every way that they can. So my question is DAZN in position to put Devin Haney into the biggest fights, Angelo? Is that the position that they're showing that they're able to do? I haven't seen them deliver on that yet. What's next at this point?
I haven't even seen them deliver a tweet. I mean, the CEO of DAZN tweeted Teofimo Lopez historical deal. I haven't even seen that, man. So again, I don't know. I mean, Bill's a pretty smart guy. Maybe he's got like an out clause and, he'll sign back with Zuffa or something. But at the end of the day, like we brought this up on the open panel on Saturday, right? We're doing this great Zuffa card. Everybody's very happy with the numbers. Dana talked about it a little bit yesterday in the press conference here about the Meta Apex and the Contender Series, which starts tonight. And it's funny to me how, again, like, it is quiet. I think that the video that you did does point out a lot of the facts that if is it that Debo Dev is willing to take on anyone, but then there's an asterisk to it. I'm willing to take on anyone, asterisk, like, as long as they're willing to take the money I'm willing to give.
Well, it's not even on him. He's not giving the money, right? He has the deal.
Right.
It's up to the zone at this point to deliver. It's like the same thing with Shakur right now with Zuffa. There's eyes on Shakur at Zuffa because now Zuffa, has been tasked with putting him in these fights that he says he wants. He's putting these offers out that are lucrative, that are just, as the Godfather once said, what I'm saying, an offer you can't refuse, right? There's something that's just, life changing to a degree to where it's like, I got to make that fight happen. That's up to Zuffa to do that with Shakur. With Devin and DAZN, it's similar to the same thing. Like I said on the video, man, this is not about Devin Haney being a hype job or even him being paid too much or anything of that nature. I think that
it's just the platform.
Yeah, I think that Turki Al-Sheikh stepped into the game and changed the whole entire status of like what money is in boxing. And I think a lot of fighters who benefited from the introduction of Turki into the space now have a new price point. Yesterday's price is not today's price. So if you get into the business of it with any of these fighters, you have to understand it comes with maybe I should have called it the Turki tax. Maybe that would have made people a little bit more happy, right? Maybe the Turki tax is the better name for it.
No,
but
the Devin tax was fair. How
the
is
Haney
the
tax?
The Haney tax? The Haney tax is fair because, okay, would we even be having this discussion? Let's say Haney wasn't fighting Shakur, but Haney signed that Zuffa deal that was presented in front of him.
Right.
Would we even have this discussion? Because I asked you this, as severe, like, I asked all you guys, the people I talked to privately, I was like, are you really going to be that mad if Haney signs the Zuffa and the first fight that he has is against Emmanuel Stanionis? And everybody's like, no, not really. Of course not really. But the zone can't even do that, man. The zone can't even get Liam Paro. Or, I mean, supposedly right now. Or Jack Catterall, right? Like, you explained it to me, Clay. Why is it so hard to make a Jack Catterall fight? That's Eddie Hearn, who worked closely with Eddie. But Boots Ennis is fighting Josh Kelly.
Yeah, according to Jack Catterall, he's waiting. He's accepted. He's ready to make the fight happen.
Cool.
So
what's taking so long?
He's not hearing from Devin, is what he's saying. He can't hear from Devin. He's not hearing from Devin. So I don't know. It's not about point and blame. And I think a lot of the Haney acts and the Haney fans have a hard time really understanding what this is all about. This is about a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer fighter who has not fought since November. And we're getting ready to go into a year of him being inactive. Who has the answers to that? I think it's easy to point fingers at these fighters and say that these guys aren't picking up these deals. That's why these fights are happening. I hear you, right? But at the same time, they're complaining about money. So it's like, if you get into the business of Devin Haney right now, you have to understand the Haney tax. You have to understand that this is a premium amount of money that you have to be ready to spend in order to put him in those fights. Now, what does a network take into consideration when they're going to put up these type of dollars? Obviously, the return, right? I'm going to put out this money. I want to make a return. I want the arena, the undercard that we got to pay for, everything. I want us to get all that money back, including what we gave you, and then some to make it profitable. So is the zone showing their hand right now about how profitable they think it is to really put together a Devin Haney fight?
I mean, I thought the zone's been showing their hand already with all these crazy paywalls they keep doing. But, look, at the end of the day, if Boots Ennis versus Josh Kelly gets made, I guess that was easy because Josh Kelly was willing to take whatever Eddie Hearn could get him. And there's a unification, right? So Liam Paro seems to not really be scared or like he could care less. He wants to fight Devin Haney. I think it's a money thing, right? Or Catterall. So maybe you're right. Maybe the zone is like, yeah, you can fight Catterall, but Devin, you're only going to get paid X amount. So how funny would it be if Keyshawn's back on the table? All this, you do a whole video on killing Keyshawn, and what if Keyshawn did do the right move? And the only way Devin can get the money that he wants from the zone is to fight people like Keyshawn because that's what DAZN's willing to pay for.
Well, 100%. I think I saw Bill Haney on Mill City with having a conversation with I guess Coach Dorsett, Keyshawn's one of Keyshawn's trainers. And I guess I saw Bill said, how much is it going to get Keyshawn in the building? And he said, Coach Dorsett said, you already know what the number is, man. Keyshawn looking for $5 million. And then Bill said, bet, and hung up. I didn't know what that meant. I don't know if that meant bet I'm going to go get it, or bet you guys outprice yourself. We don't have nothing left to talk about. I don't know exactly what that meant in real time, right? I really don't know what that meant in real time. But I think Keyshawn, clearly Top Rank was willing to put up some money. Would DAZN be willing to add to that and say, you know what?
There you go.
Here's $2 million.
Yeah.
Let's make it $5 million and let's make the big fight. Everybody wants this fight. I mean, why is Bill Haney even still conversating with Coach Dorsett? Why is he even having these? Bill doesn't play around on the internet. He's not, when Bill doesn't have nothing going on, you don't hear from Bill. Bill is not just popping up everywhere just because he has nothing better to do. Bill is about his business. As soon as you see Bill start popping up on social media platforms, or there's Champ Side, whether it's Mill City, whether it's the Boxing Voice, something's cooking. That's why he's out here. Other than that, he's chilling back in his crib doing whatever he does. So he's out here for a reason, and he's out here still going back and forth with Team Davis. So is that potentially a fight that's on the line? And is that why Keyshawn is smiling and kind of doing his thing, holding fast? And is that what Jay Prince understands as well? That, hey, bro, show me. Right. Show me you can get the money that we were going to bring to you. Show me that you can fight anybody you feel like fighting and getting your payday. Show me. Right. And once again, the water is muddy a little bit, because if you ask Jack Catterall and Liam Paro, if they would pop up here right now, they're going to say crickets. That's what we're hearing.
Right.
That's what they're going to say. They're going to say, we're hearing crickets. We're hearing crickets, right? Why are y'all hearing crickets? And the thing about it is, Devin already said he was interested in a fight. He said he's interested in the IBF title. So then why isn't Liam Paro hearing? Why is he hearing crickets? Because Devin isn't cutting the check.
Yep.
DAZN is cutting the check. And Devin wants a minimum. And we're sitting here, by the way, another part of this conversation, which is hilarious, is that we're sitting here talking amongst ourselves, speculating that Devin's deal is guaranteeing him big money. We haven't heard shit from nobody about this deal from DAZN. We don't know what the hell is going with that deal, what the contingencies are for this deal. What is the limitation? Is sky's the limit? Is Devin about to make $20 million a fight no matter who he fights? Is he going to make a certain amount of money based on who he thought he's going to fight? I watched Gervonta Tank Davis do the same ish at that Frank Martin press conference and tell the world he was getting $240 million. Then as soon as that man brought up making a fight with Lamont Roach, they jumped up out of there.
Right.
Amazon's like, we ain't signing for this. We ain't signing for this, bro. We ain't doing this. Is the same thing happening with this whole DAZN deal with Devin Haney? Is there more levels and layers to this thing than we failed to talk about? And in reality, should we even be talking about it, being that we haven't gotten any information in real time from DAZN or even the Haneys about what this deal looks like and what it is?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think people just hate it whenever you it's just a fair thing to say that, okay, Canelo did the DAZN deal.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go back to the Canelo time, so who did he really fight in those DAZN deals? Right? Like, if you really look at the opponents, Billy Joe Saunders, right? You know what I mean? But Canelo somehow, some way made some kind of money for DAZN, because Canelo is an actual product that if you say Canelo's fighting on X date, people are buying tickets to that, right? It's an event. Okay. I mean, I was there for one of them.
Right.
I mean, I've been there for several of them, obviously.
Right.
But I'm just saying, on last year, I was there, 70,500 people. Of the 70,500 people, I promise you guys, like 68,000 of them were all from Mexico. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was a lot. I was sitting by Omaha, Nebraska people, I'm just saying that there was a lot of Mexicans that came out. Is Devin Haney that guy? You know, because I mean, again, I'm not. Trust me, man. Someone's gonna kill me. Severe will probably kill me for saying this, but if you put Devin Haney's fighting in Oakland, how many people are really going to buy tickets to it, right? Given this economy, given, you know,
I mean, his history is, I think, that he sells tickets in his city, and he sells tickets. You know what I mean? I don't think this is about the arena. Devin Haney is and I talked about this in the video as well, as far as the accomplishments went up for Devin Haney, his money, his price went up. But I don't know if the question ever got answered as to whether or not his commercial value ever moved at the same rate that his accolades moved, right? As his accolades went up, did his commercial value go? Because when you're talking about money, you're talking about business. Money doesn't automatically come with accolades. You have champions right now who are making fights happen for hundreds of thousands of dollars, defending their belts. You know what I mean? They're not getting millions of dollars because they don't. That's not what they get. That's not what they bring in. You know, you got champions who are moving that way. Right now, I do not believe that Bruce Carrington is pulling in millions of dollars to defend his WBC title. No. You know what I'm saying? He's still on the undercard of the fight cards, and he's getting, you know, a couple $100K, I'm sure, 250, 300K maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, I don't know. I just don't think he's broken that $1 million threshold. And I just say that, you know how much respect and love I have for Bruce Carrington, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, the titles don't make the paycheck. Your value, what you can bring into the arena, what the pay-per-views are going to sell, whatever, you know, metric system they're using.
Parking, whatever, right? Yeah. You know, but like again, that's the conversation, and that's really what the video was about. The video was more about like, hey, you guys explain it to us, right? If Devin signs this whatever lucrative deal to DAZN, so how come there ain't no announcement about an October fight, right? Because we're I mean, you know why Shakur is kind of quiet right now is because you are about to hear the announcement on Shakur, and let me ask you, I know Shakur's repeatedly said, I don't want to fight Rayo. Rayo this. But if they were to say to him, hey, man, we talked it over with everyone. We went to Gary Antoine. We offered him this much. We did everything that we can. But at the end of the day, brother, all of them said no. But Rayo said yes. Do you really think Shakur is going to be like, no, I'll just pass on my October date and not get paid?
All we have on that situation is what Shakur said, right? I don't know what he would do, what he wouldn't do. I just don't know what's going on over there. But I don't think money is an issue over there, as far as that being a reason as to this not happening, that not happening. Maybe timing, maybe politics, maybe a couple of other things. But right now, you know what I'm saying, we're talking about this Devin Haney conversation, and shout out to everybody in the building. I know everybody got different opinions on this, and everybody wants to go in a different direction. You know what I'm saying? In a different direction. They want to turn this into, I don't know how people do it, but they can't reason enough to get past the whole entire, you're attacking Devin. Devin is not an active fighter right now for a reason, period. And we're having a conversation about what's the root of evil when it comes to this conversation of his inactivity. It seems to be money. Money seems to be the root of evil. Well, DAZN is the money. They signed Devin to this new deal that's supposed to be super lucrative and put Devin in position where this is no longer part of the conversation. Devin is on the right side of the street, right? He's on the right side. He's over there where all the big fights can be made. That's just the truth. And the fights aren't, he just got there, right? So maybe there was an announcement that pops up in the next 24 to 48 hours that kind of puts some perspective on this. But right now, at this moment, it's nada. It's zero. Big goose egg. It's quiet out here in these streets. And the only fight that seems to be out there that anybody's been interested in to give a substantial amount of money to Devin Haney right now, outside of the Shakur Stevenson fight, the catchweight at 144, is the Keyshawn Davis fight.
Right. Which could still be back on the table.
It looks like you might have to revisit it.
And that's what I find it funny, right? Because then, everybody, including you, was attacking the Keyshawn thing, which rightfully, by the way, I'm not saying it was a wrong thing to do. I'm just always saying that this is boxing, man. And when Vernon Forrest turned down Shane Mosley and everybody was killing Vernon Forrest for it, not only did Vernon Forrest end up getting more money by fighting Shane Mosley, he ended up beating up Shane Mosley anyway. So maybe that's what Keyshawn's doing. Maybe Jay Prince does know.
Without a doubt, I believe wholeheartedly that that's the play that Jay Prince and Keyshawn are doing right now. They're sitting and waiting to see what Devin and them are going to do. And I think what's interesting is that, sometimes we become a slave to the money. You know what I mean by that? Yep. What I mean by that is Devin could easily quell this by just making the next fight happen no matter what the money is. As long as it's not something like all the way super low, but he can easily go pick up a fight, go make $3 to $5 million, put it in his bank account, and say fair play and just go be active.
Yep.
But what it looks like what Jay Prince and them have bet on is not. This dude is not going to do nothing for less than the money he wants.
Right.
This guy wants top dollar, and he will stay inactive, or he will get desperate and do what he did with Shakur. He'll be like, I'll do the catch weight. Right. He'd rather handicap himself to a certain degree to make the biggest amount of money than to be like, I'm not going to let you guys dictate to me what I'll do. I'm just going to fight the next guy up. I'm sure he can make it. He could send an offer out right now. He could tell the zone, call up Tiger Johnson, tell him I'm ready. Yeah. Let's make a fight happen. Give him
Rohan Polanco.
Give him 1.5 million. Give me the 6 or the 5. You know what I'm saying? And let's, whatever.
Put it on TNT.
Let's make it happen.
Right.
But he's not going to do that.
Right.
He's only interested in making the biggest fights. And this is what I said the other day, right? When I was sitting here saying, I just want to see Devin active. I don't mind seeing him in the ring with a Rohan Polanco, a Tiger Johnson, a Jack Catterall. I don't mind seeing him active. I don't mind seeing Devin fight 3 times a year. And then at some point or another, the big fight lands in his lap. There's another video I'm actually working on that I'm working on. I got a whole monologue I've almost done writing, but it's basically about this whole entire DAZN TNT situation, right? They're successful. That shit is working. The DAZN TNT thing is working out.
Well, what it's showing is that boxing is something that viewership would be interested in.
Right.
And the TNT numbers were 787, which was like
right
100,000 less than the 4th of July one.
Right.
So I mean, again, man, I don't know all the numbers, but I'm pretty sure that Lamont Roach didn't get like 5 million, or William Spada didn't get like 5 million. These are well budgeted shows. That's why it's on TNT. But it is showing what Dana's also proven, which is people will watch boxing if you put it on a free to access.
You make it accessible.
If you make it accessible, right? So can Devin do that? Like, that's what I was saying. Can Devin do that?
I think Devin would benefit so much from that.
I agree.
I think if Devin took advantage of that, but I don't think I think the price point is not going to be the same.
Well, Devin's probably not going to get paid what you're talking about, because
that's what I'm saying. The price point is going to be different for him. Would he be willing to just be active, build himself up? And I don't think people are understanding what I mean by that. Well, what do you mean build himself? I'm saying commercial value wise. We're not talking about Turkey. You guys have to get I keep reminding people about this because I want them to understand that before Turkey, Devin was being offered $2.42 million to split with Sandor Martin.
Right.
As a fighter who came with undisputed lineal champion, 2-division champion, he came decorated. He was getting $2.42 million by Top Rank to split. He was going to walk away with like 2 or whatever the number was. I think he's going to walk away with 1.5. I'm sorry. And the other guy was going to walk away with Sandor was going to walk away with the change. And that he literally walked away from the sport for a year. And Turkey came back and started blessing him with the money. I only say that to say his Devin Haney's track record as far as money is concerned with these promotional companies outside of Turkey has not been shiny lights. Top Rank is not interested in Devin Haney business like that. I was shocked that they put the 8.5. They were like, yo, let's do it. Let's make it happen. I'm assuming the zone has something to do with it. But PBC was like, eat what you kill. But we know the PBC's money's upside down, and they're not really out there putting out the most lucrative deals. But Eddie Hearn said, I'm not in the Devin Haney business. He spoke on it. Too expensive. Not for me. He needs to go over to Zuffa. That's what he said. He need to go over there to Zuffa and let those guys pay him, because we're not paying him that. You know what I'm saying? So the zone is jumping into bed with Devin and saying, listen, we're going to give you this deal. We don't know what the deal is and how the deal looks, but it's quiet, man. What's going on? What's going on over there, bro? And I think Devin would benefit from this TNT situation, because to be able to have, I think Devin could get 1 million views on a TNT fight. If Abdullah Mason can get 800 plus
easily.
thousand.
No, yeah. No. If you put out Devin Haney on TNT and you promoted it right, if Cepeda Roach can get 787 at peak, right, and Abdullah Mason got 884 at peak, you do Devin Haney Bay Area free on TNT, something like that. Oh, Tiger Johnson. Yeah, I'm sure you get to like 1 million.
Tiger will take 700,000.
You get close. You definitely
Tiger
get close.
Take 500, 700,000 and do a backflip and say thank you.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna walk away from no Devin Haney fight because he ain't get millions of dollars, bro. He ain't doing it. Right. I don't believe it.
Right. But I mean, again, though, I think that again, this conversation will be funny because I think it'll I think what Devin wants is a pay-per-view wall because the pay-per-view, they still believe in the pay-per-view way of doing things. I don't think that works anymore. I think it's either Turkey funds you or you figure out another way of funding. Because okay, so Matchroom's gonna make this fight between Josh Kelly and Boots. It's not a Boots problem. If it doesn't it'll be a Josh Kelly issue, right? But I think it will end up happening. So how's Matchroom funding it, Clay? I'm sure part of the money is the zone, but how's Matchroom funding it then? Right?
Right.
If it's a pay-per-view wall, all right, cool. Well, there must be enough people on the UK side that's willing to pay the pay-per-view that it makes up the money for both Boots Ennis and Jack Catterall, right?
Right.
And that's what I mean, though, is that, or I mean, not Jack Catterall, Josh Kelly. So that's what I mean is why isn't Devin just jumping on the whole? Okay, cool. Jack Catterall said yes. Okay, we're done. Awesome. That sounds great, right? Is it because you're not able to get 10 million, which is what you want? You're not able to get 10 or 11.
Is the zone not interested in it?
Yeah, or yeah. There's just no money. Like if there's no
well, the
money,
zone's interested in it, but they're not interested in it to the point of 10 million.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And on top of that, you know, I know that T.O.'s deal is like 18 months. It's an 18-month deal that he has.
All right,
I can pull up the receipts and show everybody. I got to find it, but I know it's 18 months. I don't know what the number is as far as money-wise. I'm hearing about 20 million is what I heard. It was going to be about that. He's going to get total.
Fights, 20 million total for 3 fights?
However many fights. I don't even have a number of fights. I just know it's a year and a half. So I would say 3 fights is about what it would be for those. But okay, 20 million. I'm assuming Devin getting more than that. But
I mean, I don't know, man. If he's getting paid 6.5 to fight Rolly in a title fight, coming off the back end of a loss from a sold out Madison Square Garden, Devin's, I mean, again, man, people are going to kill me for saying this, but Devin's last fight was he the co-main event? He was at least the co-main event, right? Was he the co-main event to Benavidez Yard?
Yeah, he was a co-headline.
Okay. All right. So the last fight Devin had was co-main in a Riyadh season card that Turkey flipped the bill for. And prior to that, what was Haney's fight, Clay?
Jose Ramirez in Times Square.
Okay, so those are both
co-main event again.
Yeah, both of those are non-headliners. Both of those are not sold out arena types, right? Because we know Turkey's paying.
I mean, Times Square was a failure. It was a bust.
Yeah, okay. All right. Hey, man. Hey, hold on. All right. I don't know if the event was a failure more so than the fights wasn't as exciting.
I mean, what makes the fight? What makes the event the fights?
well, I mean, I'm just saying, like the event at least got a lot of notoriety, right? A lot of buzz around it. People were excited about it. Well, I mean, hey, man, just like in PR, baby.
They said they were going to let the city in.
All PR is good PR, baby.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, they said they were going to let the city in. The city wasn't allowed in. The city stopped the city from coming. Cops came out and shut it down. It was a weird situation. It just was. I was out there. It was a very what happened, but I enjoyed it. I was there and I enjoed the shit out of it. But I'm saying consensus was
right. Well, the consensus is that money was lost. Let's do it that way.
And just a bad event. Like the consensus was, we're never doing this shit again. That's what the consensus was, to be honest. And that's factual, right? Turkey and everybody's like, we ain't doing no shit in Times Square again. That shit was nobody was happy with the way that turned out.
Right. Well, not under Eddie Hearn, at least, or whoever else is promoting it. Maybe they'll do Alcatraz with Dana or something.
Right. I'm saying not Times Square. I'm saying Times Square won't happen again. They'll do other.
Right.
You know, they'll do. They did Egypt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They'll do shit. They'll do stuff.
Right. So my point being, though, that it sounds to me like the last real lucrative Devin was a super contributor to it was the Ryan Garcia fight.
And that did not end well.
That was 2024. Brother, it's 2026, man. Right. I mean,
that did not end well. And people don't want to hear that part of the conversation either, Angelo, that there's an argument there that's saying that's Ryan.
I mean, at least half of it. At the very least,
I mean, look, somebody was talking to me in the video, in one of the comments under the video, and I said, listen, man, Devin took a 45-55 split.
Right.
He knew his position in that promotion. He understood. Right? He understood just the way he did business. He didn't do business as somebody who's bringing just as much to the table as Ryan was bringing to the table. He did business as, you're right.
Right.
I'm definitely the B-side to this. You're the biggest star. Let's get it done.
Right.
And he wasn't wrong about.
Right. And my point is, and here we are 2 years later, Ryan Garcia is about to fight on Access.
Headline.
Again, headline.
When was the last time
Access.
we seen Ryan Garcia co anything? When was the last time we see him on a card to where he was not the headline? Any card. Just give me the last time you seen it. What?
Yeah,
Luke Campbell?
I mean, I can't even remember it, man. I'm because I think he was the headliner for Oscar Duarte. Maybe he wasn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He was the headliner for that.
Okay. So I can't even remember because I know he was the headliner for the Haney fight. Then he was the headliner again at Times Square. Then he was the headliner again for the Mario Barrios situation. So, and then now he's the headliner in front of 95 territories. I can only assume, Clay, but
he's showing that he can get the payday without Devin.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? He's I'm about to make the big bag. I don't need
and he's not even signed to Zuffa. He's not. So that's the other thing too, is just like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia is also not signed to Zuffa.
I don't think the zone can afford Ryan Garcia.
Right. Oh, they can't. No.
Right.
No.
So to give him
Ryan ain't getting no 6.5, bro. He's getting his money's up.
Because Ryan was complaining, right? He said, yo, I was kind of insulted that they gave Tio. They didn't even offer me anything. I think the zone knows better. Right. I think they know better than to offer him anything. They're like, we're not hitting you with 100 million, 50, 70, 50 million. We're not hitting you with those numbers. Right. Yeah, bro. We're going to let you slide, but the zone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. It is what it is. At least they're part of this event, right? They're part of this big event that's going to happen. They're going to see this unfold however it's going to unfold. But man, look, I don't want to hark on the Devin conversation so much that people feel like we're just making it all about that. But once again, the Haney tax. It's a Haney tax because at the end of the day, taxes make a big difference on how you buy shit, how you deal with shit. You know what I'm saying? Good taxes, zero taxes, we shopping. High taxes, we're going to wait till we move into the next town. Not everybody's willing to pay that tax. And the tax on Devin Haney is not exclusively to how much money he gets. It's about how much money they're willing to give the opponents. It's about the total. When you add the money that you give to your opponent, it brings a total cost to the whole entire event, right? And that's where it becomes an issue, it looks like here, to where the whoever the promoters are, the zone being the network, they're not offering their opponents the right amount of money to make what Devin Haney wants possible. So right now, if they're trying to give Jack Catterall a fight, they're like, okay, we want to put, $7 million behind that, $6 million behind that. How are we going to do? We're going to give Jack Catterall 1.52 million. We're going to give you the other half, 4 million, 3.5 million, whatever it is. Is Devin taking those deals in the spirit of being active and making the biggest fights happen? I don't know.
Yeah. Good video though. It's definitely getting a lot of interaction. A lot of people get triggered, man.
Over 100 comments on that. Y'all keep on hitting the like button as y'all watch that video and putting the comments in there. And hit the like button here as well.
Hit the like button here, you diabolical people. What do we got? 80 people in the building? What's the likes up to? Like 30? What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, it's like 28. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, see, you guys are terrible.
With that being said, since we're talking about Ryan Garcia, I'm going to bring up the Conor Benn interview, man. We talked about it a little bit on Saturday, but we were calling the fight, so we really couldn't dive into it. And I know the last time I spoke to you about this, you were kind of like dismissing it. But Conor Benn says, listen, man, I'm out of here, bro. After this fight, I'm not doing 147 no more.
Cool. I mean, he's got a guaranteed contract. He'll have 4 more fights after this, so he can do whatever the hell he wants.
No, I understand, but I'm speaking as far as in reference to this fight with Ryan Garcia, what that means. I'm talking about within that intangible, with the fact that if he's having a hard time cutting this weight, at what price is he cutting this weight, and what does that mean in this fight with Ryan Garcia? You know what I mean? Against one of the biggest punchers in the division. This guy did not look good in his last weight cut at 154 pounds or 150 pounds. He didn't look good. You know what I'm saying? He looked better the night of the fight. I'll give him that. On the night of the fight, he looked better. He did. I'm not going to act like he didn't. But the night before the weigh-ins, it was like, okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? That's nasty work. All right. But the next day he looked decent, but he didn't look decent in the ring, right? He had an off night, to say the least, right? He had an off night against Regis Prograis, fight that he won convincingly. It wasn't a close fight to where I thought he won that fight convincingly. But he didn't look his greatest. You know what I mean? Took a headbutt and had some damage. It was leaking a little bit in there. Just didn't look like his regular self. That movement wasn't there. The athleticism wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? That we're used to seeing him have. What are we expecting at 147 from him? And if he's going to beat Ryan Garcia, who does he need to be in that ring to beat Ryan Garcia? And is that possible on the back end of a bad weight cut? I mean, there's 2 ways this can go, in my opinion. Either A, he comes all out for the first 3 to 4 rounds, gives it all up, which means on the back end of that fight, he could just literally be slower and more lethargic on the conditioning side if the weight cut went bad, or he can try to ration it out a little bit, right? He could try to ration it out a little bit throughout the fight, but that's not Conor. And can Conor win that kind of a fight? Is Conor going to win this fight based on putting rounds in, taking rounds away from Ryan Garcia? Or how do you see this playing out either way? And what do you think about that as far as the fight is concerned, not as far as what he's going to do after the fight?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, man, I think Conor Benn is locked in. I think that he's been wanting this belt. He always talks about how that's the belt because of his dad. This is going to be his first showing on that 5-fight deal that he has on a huge stage. This is a turkey bag for him. I think that if we put I think it'll just be hindsight, right? Like, let's say Conor Benn loses and he loses terribly, and Ryan sparks him and looks terrible. Then it'll be hindsight for all of us to sit there and go, yeah, see, Conor Benn, man, he was just killing himself trying to make that weight, and that's not really him. So, sure. But I'm going to go the opposite, man. I think that Conor Benn mentally is probably like putting everything he's got into this fight to do the 147 and do it all and do it the right way. And I think that for him, it's kind of like his Super Bowl. Like, he's like sitting there going, I'm going to do this one time, and then I'm going to get to a point in my life where I'm going to be comfortable for the rest of my career. And where I'm going to be most comfortable at is 154, possibly 160. Now, in an athletic mentality, think about that for a second. What's the worst case scenario for Conor Benn? Loses to Ryan. Yeah, he gets knocked out, loses to Ryan Garcia, and then he does get to go on a podium and go, hey, guys, I gave it my all. I trained my hardest. Thanks to everyone. I'm moving up to 154 or 160 on my next fight, right? That's his worst case scenario, Clay. So I do think that he's not like, it's not a built-in excuse. I think that he is going for the guts, though, because what's the best case scenario? He wins. He gets the WBC belt. He's even more popular that he beat Ryan Garcia. Now he can sit there and go, I'll fight you, Devin Haney, but we got to do it at 154. I'll fight you so-and-so, but we got to do it at 160. Like, now he can dictate terms because he just did what he did. So at the end of the day, like, I think he's just covering all the bases, but I'm not gonna sit there and say he'll lose because of the weight cut. I think if he loses, he'll lose. I think if he loses, it's because Ryan Garcia was better. But I don't think he's going to lose because of the weight cut. Because on the flip end of it, and I tend not to believe that I think Ryan's doing a lot of stuff for show. But, you're seeing Ryan doing like the living room training and he's doing all this other. I think he's really training. I think he's just doing that for like the influencer side of his stuff.
Who, Ryan or Conor?
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, no, Ryan. So that's what I mean is, like, I think Ryan's for real training. So if Conor loses to Ryan, it's just he lost to Ryan. I'm not going to do the whole, it's because of the weight. It's like, hey, bro, you did your best, but you weren't as good. Ryan beat you fair and square, and that'll be that, right? So I just don't want to make it an excuse. I don't want to make the weight thing.
I mean, I'm not trying to make an excuse, but I am validating a reason. And maybe Conor's trying to make the excuse early. Like, why even, matter of fact, why even in an interview say that? Why even say that you're leaving, you're playing? Why are you planning on not being in the division afterwards or talking about the weight cut being difficult? That's not the time to speak on it right now. Speak on that after the fight, right? When the fight is said and done, go up there and be like, hey, man, I'm going up to the next weight class. Why do you say that? Is he laying down the foundation to a damn excuse? Is he laying down the foundation for the world to know that I'm daring to be great, that this weight cut is clearly too much for me and I shouldn't be at 147? Yeah, I'm realizing this. Listen, man, it sounds like he said that shit. And if you said it, we got to take it into account. We have to factor in.
Do you have it queued up? Do you have it queued up like you do sometimes?
No, I didn't cue it up. All
right. Okay.
I didn't cue it up.
I was just always saying, like, I didn't see him do it. I'll have to watch it. But
you did. I'll find it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just in the context of things, right? Sometimes you'll just say some shit.
Even the way he looked. Trust me when I tell you, even the way he looked.
Right.
When he said it, it looked painful. Like, I'm going to go. I'm going. The weight cut is just too. Wait till you see this shit. The weight cut is just too much, I after this one here, can't keep doing this to myself. You got to do this. It's 154, 160.
Oh,
When I'm done with
man.
this one, I don't want it to be what it is, but it is what it is. Hold on, let me find it.
No, and again, guys, I'm just saying, I as a boxing fan, all right, I don't want to make the weight the excuse. If Ryan beats him, then I just want to say Ryan beat him. I don't want to say, oh well, Conor Benn lost because the weight killed him. It's like, hey man, you're the one that chose to do that weight, but I'm not going to take away a win from Ryan based on your weight. But maybe you guys can rematch at 54. I don't know.
Hold it down. I'm looking for it. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So anyway, let me see. Let me look at some of these comments. Agent 0777 said, I believe Connor said it because he was being truthful when asked a question. When the idea is so much in your head, you have to get it out when asked. See, I could totally understand that. Like, he's in the middle of training camp, man. Usually people don't even really want to talk during training camp, right? So it could have. I want to see like the context of the question. Did you catch me like right after I missed the meal? Did I just? I don't know. I don't know what you were doing, right? Um, So let's see. Severe says he's laying the groundwork for an excuse or for a triumphant narrative if he wins. We see certain fighters do it when discussing other fighters. We just watched a whole weight narrative play out. Okay. All right. Hey, man, you could be right. That's what Clay was saying. Um, let's see here. Pugilism says Ryan's beating him, and Turkey will enjoy selling it as the biggest boxing event, selling 6 million in his first day. That's what Haney is up against. All right, yeah. I mean, again, the Paramount. Look, guys, like that. So the reason why there was even a press conference yesterday here is that the Meta Apex now seats more people than what the Palm Casino can seat. It's as much as what the Virgin Hotel can seat, or almost as much as what the Virgin can seat. And Virgin is where Lamont Roach and Cepeda just fought. So they're actually like an event center now, right? Meta Apex is an event center now. And Dana even said that, said, hey, any of these convention guys or anybody, because the production quality is so high, the video, the digital, and all that stuff. And the crazy thing too, and I said this to you, Severe, that they're making it accessible for local fans. So like tonight, if I wanted to go to the Dana White Contender Series, it's like $40 for the tickets, right? Some of the tickets were like $25. It's $40 because again, they're trying to make it accessible. Even as I've told you guys before, when I went to the Apex for Zupa Boxing 4 and Zupa Boxing 6, right? Those events didn't cost me how much it would have cost to go to Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios or any of that. And again, like they're understanding that people will buy tickets to go to events just like they'll buy tickets to go to a concert, but you just can't like kill them, man. I'm really interested to see, honestly, with Benavidez's fight with Zurdo Ramirez on a Cinco de Mayo having been such a failure in sense of ticket sales, right? It was like 7,000. That arena holds 21,000. So a 7,000 seat, 7,000 tickets sold. That's a pretty bad thing on a Cinco de Mayo weekend too. So I'm interested to see what T.O. versus Rolly will do. Just because, man, but like Pugilism said, the Ryan one, it's already selling. It's I mean, I'm sure it'll be sold out by the time we get there. And I've seen this too, guys, like where somebody on Twitter will put up, oh man, they're offering it to people who gamble. I know, man, that's what they do with the Raiders too. Like the Raiders state the Allegiant Stadium isn't like empty when Raiders are playing. But yes, those tickets are bought by the casino, and then the casino then offers it to people who gamble, right? I'm sure that T-Mobile has a similar deal with the Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn fight, for because it's a big weekend. It's Mexican Independence Day weekend. There's a lot of different stuff happening here, anyways. So I'm sure that that's what's happening. If you guys are getting offers like that, hey man, my hotel just reached out to me and they're willing to give me 2 tickets to Conor Benn versus Ryan Garcia. As long as I gamble, whatever it is that you guys gamble, then great, man. You should definitely take that deal. I hope you're right, Sam from Jersey. I really hope you're right. Sam from Jersey says T.O. and Rolly will sell. I hope you're right, because it's going to look really bad if they don't sell. It's going to look really, and man, I think the paywall for that is the $80 price point, and I don't know how many people are going to buy $80 for T.O. versus Rolly. I mean, I don't think it'll crack 200,000, man. If I'm being honest, I don't think it'll get 200,000 pay-per-view buys. So, let's see. Looking at the chat. What time? The Terra Moana? I can look it up for you guys.
I ain't gonna lie, I cannot find the damn clip, man. I'm tired of looking. My head is killing. Okay. Watching it, doing this, running through all this, man. And the funny thing is, I will find it. And let's see here. What's going on here? Okay.
Yeah, David Adelaide, Mark 189. That's a possibility. David Adelaide going to Zuffa. I mean, he's a free agent now, and David Adelaide would be a good name to have, especially since Zuffa's really investing a lot on the UK side of things. So that could be good.
But isn't he over there with was he with Boxer or is he with
No. He was with Queensberry, but he announced that he's a free agent.
Oh yeah, so he might creep over there.
Or Queensberry could just pay, do the match thing again, but yeah. So Donnie says, I want to see Zuffa boxing back at the Apex. It probably will come back to the Apex at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, of course it will, especially with the lower tier fighters. But anyway, that being said, though, I don't know what the weight is going to mean. You know what I'm saying? I do. It does raise an eyebrow because obviously on the back end of that Chris Eubank fight, everybody was kind of like looking at him crazy for wanting to go all the way down to 147. I think most people in the space try to convince that man to go to 154. Everywhere he sat down, they're like, "Well, you sure you want to do this?" And he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna do what I got to do," and he is gonna do what he has to do. Right? He's a soldier. He's not. Nobody's ever questioned Conor Benn's heart, and I believe he will give 100%. I believe he is dialed in. He understands what it is. That's who he is. I've never seen Conor Benn give a half-ass, go at it. Right? He's always put it all the way, leave everything in the fucking ring. So I'm expecting that. But that being said, Bomac does an interview with Brian Custer yesterday morning, and Bomac, interestingly enough, says, hot off the press, he predicts Conor Benn's going to stop Ryan Garcia.
Okay. Hey, man. I mean, I told you I was picking Conor, but go ahead. Why does Bomac say he's going to stop?
Well, he just believes that Ryan Garcia hasn't been the same fighter ever since he fought Devin Haney. He believes he can't, ever since he's come back off that year hiatus, he hasn't been the same fighter. And that's why he looked the way he did against Rolly Romero. And he's saying even though he looked different against Mario Barrios at that fight, Mario Barrios was a fighter just waiting on somebody to, get him out the way. He was just one fight away from just losing that belt, and Ryan got positioned in that position to do that. That Conor Benn is just a different type of dog. His understanding of who Conor Benn is and seeing Conor Benn is just that he's a different dog. He believes, and I think he's really counting on the idea of the heart part, right? The fact that when it gets hard, Ryan doesn't necessarily get into those kind of fights to where he has to fight for his position. Although I would push back and say we've seen him do that against Luke Campbell, right? We saw him get put down in his pockets against Luke Campbell. We've seen him get up and come back with that warrior spirit and stop Luke Campbell with a left hook to the body, right? So we've seen him have it, but fair play to say that we haven't seen it lately. And he believes that Conor Benn can at least do that, test him and put Ryan Garcia into the hardest fight of his career. And that's when he's expecting Ryan Garcia to bend the knee, right? To play the I don't give a damn, because he's shown it. Fernando Vargas said the same thing, right? He said, once you quit the first time, it's way easier to quit another time.
Right.
It's just the way it is.
It's a mental thing.
Right. And he was talking about the Tank Davis fight, right? When he said that, he was talking about the Tank Davis fight.
Yeah, when he took a knee. Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, were you surprised at what he did with Rolly? And he was like, nah. Why? Because he did it with Tank, is what he's saying, right? His whole thing was, because I've seen him do it with Tank. So no, I'm not surprised that when Rolly hit him in his mouth and he fell in his pockets, that he did what he does. And I've always told the space that whole entire California roll is not some skilled fucking thing he's doing. He's cowering. I keep telling y'all that's what he's doing. From my seat, when I'm watching a man cower.
Right.
I'm watching a man, don't hit me, turn away in a weird way, and cover up and not want to be hit. That's what I'm seeing personally when I'm watching that unfold. Other people are seeing a makeshift Philly shell. They're saying this is some shit. It works. It does it. I don't see that. Other people see it. I don't see that. What I see is a dude who's cowering in the corner. He did not do that with Rolly Romero. He did it with Devin. Will he do it with Conor Benn if Conor Benn starts opening up on him?
Oh, sorry, man. I'm fighters trying to get a hold of me right now. Sorry.
No,
What was the question again, Clay? Go ahead.
I'm saying I've seen him cower before. When it gets hard, will he do that? Will he do that against Conor Benn?
I think
Conor Benn push him to that brink?
Yeah, I think that first off, with the Bomac statements, I think that's a fair thing. Bomac just spent the whole training camp with Chris Eubanks trying to figure out Conor Benn, so he's got like right there, front row seat. Let me see what kind of dog Conor Benn is. So he knows what kind of dog Conor Benn is. So I believe him. That's why I did pick Conor Benn to beat him, even though I like Ryan Garcia's talent. I picked Conor Benn to beat him. The second thing too is that Ryan still hasn't really proven to me yet how he looks at 147. I mean, I know that sounds weird because then people will be like, well, he fought Barrios. I know, man, but Barrios really lost the Pacquiao, right? So, you know, like, what are we doing here? I could argue to say Barrios lost to Abel Ramos. So that's not a real 147 test. So they're almost both like testing themselves. Like, I would say that Ryan, if he beats Conor, would be his most significant 147 win.
Right.
And if Conor beats Ryan, then that would be Conor's most significant 147 win. But I don't know if both of these guys should even really be at 147, right? Or if they've developed that way. But yeah, I can totally see the whole with what we saw with Rolly. I think it's fair to say that what Ryan has proven so far in the last at least 3 fights, I guess, is that he's really good as a front runner. When he's winning and he knows he's ahead, like what he did with Devin, what he did with Mario Barrios, he's a tough ass to beat. But what if Conor Benn puts him on his ass in the first 2 rounds, Clay? Is he gonna do what he did against Rolly and play it safe, right? Or is he gonna be willing to dig deep, right? Is he willing? Because I'll tell you what I saw Conor do in the 2 fights with Chris Eubanks Jr. is he dug deep.
Yeah, he bit down on that gum shield and he got in it.
Yeah, and by the way, that's the type of fight Conor would fight, which is why Shakur wants to fight Conor, because Shakur wouldn't fight Conor that way. Shakur's going to do to Conor what Shakur does to everybody, which is, I'm just going to box you, man. I'm not even going to try to engage with you, bro. You're going to have to look for me, right? So does Ryan have the ability to do the Shakur? Does he have the ability to be able to quote unquote outbox and move around Conor Benn? I don't think so. I think that he's going to have to bite it, which is why I keep saying I think that Conor Benn, if it ends up turning into that type of fight, right? Like, let me ask you this. You were there in New York. What would have happened if Ryan would have bit down against Rolly? What do you think that night would have happened? If Ryan would have made a decision that night and said, nah, man, I ain't going out like a punk. Let me go get this guy. How do you think that fight could have ended between Ryan and Rolly?
If I would have gave it to Ryan. I thought Ryan could have stepped it up and did something to Rolly. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I don't know. But look, we got a guest in the building. And I was working, and I gave him some time to really enjoy his victory and do his thing. I know it was a crazy night. Didn't get a chance to meet him that night because I end up, I was running around, chasing myself around, playing with those trains. Maybe next time I might drive into the city. Maybe I might do that instead of taking a train. But when you're going back and forth with Jersey, you can't miss that train. It is what it is. But I definitely want to bring him up here, bro. We knew he had to come up here, bro. Let's not waste any more time, man. We got the man of the hour. Did he steal the show that night? I don't know. We'll talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Maybe he stole. Did he steal the show that night? I don't know. Did he steal it? Edgar Berlanga had a good night too, man. Well, let's see. Let's talk to him. Jalil Hackett, ladies and gentlemen. Jalil El Negro Mexicano Hackett in the building. Jalil, what's good with you, man?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Man,
Jalil's looking good. Can we put Jalil in the middle? Can we do a Jalil in the middle?
Yeah, no doubt. Look, first of all, Jalil's in his, you know what I'm saying? He got the sunroof back. He got the top back. You know what I'm saying? He outside.
That's the Mercedes, baby. That's the Mercedes.
He looking good. He's smiling like he in a Mercedes too. He ain't laughing. He's smiling. That's how you do when you're in a Mercedes. You don't laugh. You smile. Well, right? Living his best life. But hey, man, you've had about 2 weeks or so to really process where you are right now. And I definitely wanted to get an opportunity to pick at your brain a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and really see how you're feeling right now. And, you know, definitely wanted your perspective on how that fight went. I had my opinion on it, but some people challenged me on it. But I think most people agree with me. But how you doing today, Jalil? Uh-oh.
Oh, he disappeared already. He didn't like the question, Clay.
No, he just had a phone call probably. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, I got a phone call.
Yeah, that's how it works. But how you doing, Jalil? How you feeling, man? You look good, man. The face look on point. You don't look all knotted up. You look like you healed up pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I don't know if like y'all see me like immediately post fight, but like I don't even think I had like a busted lip. I think I look the same as the day I fought. You know,
I was there. I was there by the experience.
Yeah, I tell people, you know, it takes in order to hit a guy with a good shot, you got to be willing to get hit with a few good shots. You know, so it's like, yeah, I feel like I got hit with some good shots, but you know, if you show a child my face and you show a child his face, and you ask, who do you think won? The child's probably gonna say, I won. You know, children are the most honest beings on this earth. They are unapologetically honest. Yeah. You know, my nephew Cairo.
Was he there?
No, he was not there, but he watched the fight on TV.
Okay.
My nephew Cairo told me, he said, you did a good job. I wanted you to knock him out, but you get hit way less when you box. And he's 6. So, you know, children are so honest, you know. So it's like, yeah, this was a very good fight, very tough fight, one of the toughest fights in my career. Honestly, if I'm being realistic, it was the toughest fight of my career, and I feel like I handled the situation pretty well.
Yeah, you know, I had shout out to Mill City. I talked to him because I put a posting up and I said easy work. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Julio Hackett. And he, you know, he was like, what are you talking about? Easy work, man. That was a hard fight. And I'm like, yeah, it was a tough fight, but it was a fight that Jalil wanted. Like, I saw you do what you wanted to do in that fight, if that makes any sense. As I was watching that fight, I saw you do what you wanted to do. So I'm going to ask you straight up, did you do what you wanted to do in that fight, or did you do what you had to do? Did you have to steer away from the game plan, or did you kind of see the fight playing out that way, and is that the fight you wanted?
I went into this fight telling myself that, like, your corner will win or lose this fight for you, Jalil. You know, we're going to see how good your corner is. And I let my dad know I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to you, and whatever happens is what happens. And because going into the fight, he says, Jalil, if you go into this fight and you fight him, you're going to lose. Box him. You know, you might have the opportunity to fight later on down the line in the fight, but box early, and you know it'll come a time where you can fight, but just not early. So if you watch the fight live, in between every round, I said, is this the round? Probably starting on like round 4, going all the way up to when he said, go get him. I asked, is this the round? How I'm looking? Is this the round? And he just kept letting me know, just be patient. Hold on. It's coming. It's coming. And when the round came, I think it was the 8th round, it was like, man, let's go. Let's go get him. And I feel like I closed the fight out very strong. So, yeah, I feel like I didn't do what I wanted to do this fight, but I did what my team wanted me to do, and that made me look really good.
Right. I thought you looked great in the fight, you know. And I mean, even your team, whatever the game plan was, I'm sure if you wanted to, you would have fought differently if you didn't have a team. But it seemed like early you came out, and I saw it immediately. Immediately in round 1, I saw the jab. I saw the level change. I seen you touching the body. I seen you using your feet. And I was like, he's going to do it. Because I was scared. I ain't going to lie to you. I was like, he going to go up in there and El Negro Mexicano this shit. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see you box, but I just didn't know. I didn't know how to read the room. I didn't know what was going to happen, how you was going to play it. But as soon as I saw the first round, I immediately saw the game plan. And I was talking ish in there. There was a lot of Ukrainians around me not happy for being around Claymore Rain. I made it a very difficult night for them because I was like, this is bad news for you guys. 100% bad news. I thought the game plan was damn near flawless. I think you did take some shots in there, but like you said, you were in there to be in a fight. You weren't going to just, you know, be on your bicycle all night long. But I thought there was, you know, I gave you 9 rounds to 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I after scoring the fight, I had it 7 rounds to 3 after rewatching it a few times. But I definitely no doubt in my mind that I won the fight. But you know, there's a lot of things that after watching a lot of things that got cleaned up. Because you know, like I've said before, and I'll say it again, you know, as you climb the ladder, certain guys are gonna capitalize on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's just really just like cleaning up a lot of the small things, you know, just to make me more of a complete fighter.
No doubt, no doubt. So I love that you said that as well. There's a lot of things you're gonna clean up because. So did you feel like you got hit too much?
I got hit a lot less this fight than I've been hit in my previous fights, but I still do think I got hit too much for my liking.
Facts.
You know, it's if anybody tells you you're not gonna get hit in this shit, they never did it before. But you know, I just really want to limit the amount of times I'm hit. And I feel like I did it. I did limit it. You know, if you compare this fight to my previous fight in February, I got hit a lot less in this fight than I did in that fight. Still, you know, still a lot to work on though.
Yeah, you got hit with some, like every now and then he'd whistle a big overhand right in the middle of the mix, and you'd get hit by the right hand. But it is what it is. But I'm gonna let Angel have at it because I'm sure.
Yeah, man. I didn't want to interrupt Clay, but he's like da 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 da.
Yeah. I still got more da. Trust me.
No, but to be fair, Jaleel, and I'll do my best not to bring in any of the, like, you know, we talk in private. You know, I talk to your dad damn near every day, right? So, but going into the fight, I knew what the game plan was. I knew what you were gonna do. I scored you higher, so I want to talk to you about the grade you gave yourself, because you said you gave yourself like a C plus, right?
Right.
Yeah.
In the context, Jaleel, of I understand where your head is at. Like you expect yourself to be better. Myself, man, I gave you an A-, and it's because I knew you could do that stuff. The sparring footages I've seen, I knew you could do it, but until you do it, right? The test was Derevchenko, and one of the things I was going to give. One of the things I was going to give you credit on, and I want you to kind of speak on the movement of it, is I thought Derevchenko gave you a look that you've never seen before, in the sense that he did every dirty veteran trick in the book other than hit you low on purpose. But he did everything else. He did the head thing. I saw him doing the overhook grabs. I saw him doing the one hand where he'll like 2-in-1 you, right, with your arms to hold you down. He was doing like all these little, and all those little like movements, or all those little veteran tricks, is what could actually throw off a young fighter. And most people don't even give you credit for that, right? Like, I didn't really hear Andre Ward, shout out to Andre for giving you so much flowers, but I didn't even hear him talk about that, because they were just looking at it as oh, well, here's the X's and O's. And I'm going in deeper. I thought Derevchenko was actually, when he knew, I would say about round 3, he was like, I'm not going to beat this kid straight up. I got to start doing some shit on this guy to try to throw him off.
And if we're being realistic,
right?
I think he knew it sooner.
Yeah, okay. Could have. Yeah,
I think he knew it sooner. Yeah. Honestly, I think he knew it at the weigh-in.
Okay.
Wow. He knew it at the weigh-in, honestly. Okay. I'm a great reader of energy, and I think he knew he was in for a night at the weigh-in. Because first off, I weighed in officially 157 for a fight that was 160.
In shape.
And if we're being technical, I might have weighed lighter if I didn't eat breakfast the morning of the weigh-in.
Yeah, that morning I saw you on Instagram Live tearing up some food on Instagram. I don't know if you remember, you were on Instagram Live and you were like, yo, you were eating. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember you were on Instagram Live?
Yeah, I went live after the official weigh-in, but I've already been eating beforehand. Like, I had, like, I'm not saying I took down a whole meal, but like the morning of the weigh-ins, I had like some blueberries, had some grapes, had some strawberries, you know, and I was just sipping on like a small 8-ounce bottle of water, you know. Yeah, but it's like, if I wouldn't have done that, I probably would have been lighter. And he knew that. And like, also, like, when he seen me at the ceremonial, a little bit more rehydrated, he's like, oh, this is a big guy. You know, everybody was thinking he's coming down from 168. This is Jaleel's first official fight at 160. He's obviously the bigger guy. That's not true. I'm the bigger guy. I say it all the time. If I wasn't a professional boxer, I'd probably be in the NFL by now. I'd be like an NFL DB or something. I'm a big guy. I just make myself small for my career. You know, Yeah, so I feel like he knew it definitely, at the weigh-ins. And then when if you go back and look at the first round, we got in the clinch, and he swept my leg in the first round.
Yeah.
Like we were in the UFC. Like, I don't know if he was trying to impress Dana and tell him, he could get him a contract with the UFC, but like, yeah, no, he swept my leg in the first round.
Right. And that's what I was saying, Jaleel, is he's doing a lot of like these veteran type tricks to throw you off your game. So I gave you the A- because you never really, there was moments where you could have gotten off your game, and in the past you probably would have gotten off your game. But on this one, you could really tell that throughout the whole training camp, you were working on exactly what the team was asking you to do. Shout out to your dad, by the way, who I talked to him about this. Such a humble guy, but he never gets enough credit for how good of a coach he actually is. And when I've talked to him before about working with other fighters, he just keeps telling me like he wants to put all this focus into you. So in a lot of ways, your dad gets killed, and then people will say some dumb shit like, well, Jaleel just needs to go to a different trainer. And I'm like, how is a guy who just showed you a 180-degree turn in how good of a fighter he is from the Roberto Cruz fight to the Derevchenko fight? He's fighting up. I'm talking about you fighting up, fighting better people, and you're showing more wrinkles to your game. How are you not giving the credit to the coaches? So shout out to Team Hackett. Shout out to your dad and the rest of the team and what you guys are doing. And shout out to you for really like honing in on your skills, right? And saying, hey, I'm different. I'm gonna get better in the league. I'm a different guy when it comes to this stuff. So when you beat him, I saw you do what you and I, when we've had the conversation, I've always said, bro, after you win, walk up to Dana. That's what the fighters do. Say whatever you need to say. So what did you say to Dana when you walked right up there? So you won, you flexed, you walk up to Dana. What did you say to Dana right after you won?
I really just told him, I'm like, I'm the one, bro. Like, you need to know, like, he has a lot of stars at my division, at the 160-pound division. But I just want them to know, like, I'm the one. Like, and I've been saying it in my interviews, as of lately, like, it's not really about the opponent. It's about when we're fighting and where we're fighting. The opponent doesn't matter. Excuse me. The opponent doesn't matter. It's about when we're fighting, when we're fighting. All the other shit is, like, out of the window. I come to fight. I'm a dog. I might have boxed a little bit my last fight, but I'm a dog first. Everything else, it comes, with the territory. But like, I just want them to know, like, I'm your guy at 160.
No, and you're definitely that, because we did a live on this Saturday morning's Zuffa Boxing 10 telecast. 6 of the fights were all in your division, middleweights, right? Probably my favorite guy that I saw was Sam Hickey. It was only his 6th fight, Jaleel, so you and him aren't going to be seeing each other anytime soon. But I liked his talent. But, man, Caleb Walsh, bro, I don't even want to ever see you fight that guy, because I think you just not even be a contest. And people were killing me for being so hard on Caleb, right? Like, why are you so hard on Caleb? He needs to grow. You just had your 14th fight against a ranked fighter. Shouldn't you already be ranked right now? Are you a little upset that the rankings have not put you? Because Caleb's ranked in like 3 different sanctioning bodies, and I'm looking for your name, brother. And I'm like, where's Jaleel's name at? After the performance against Derevchenko, did they not update it yet or something? Where the hell is Jaleel's name at?
No, it's been updated. I think the WBC has me ranked at like 15. But I think that's the only sanctioning body that ranked me. The Ring only does top 10, and they didn't put me in their rankings. And it's like, for me, it's more or less like, you just gotta keep proving them wrong. Like, I take like a Michael Jordan approach. Like, you just gotta take it personally and like act on it. Like, they told Mike, you don't shoot well, and Mike went and raised his 3-point percentage the following season. They told him he doesn't play defense. He went and won Defensive Player of the Year. So it's like every time you say I can't do something, I'm just gonna go do it.
Right.
That's all I've been thinking about.
Right. Well, what I like, Jaleel, is that I know you're already going to be getting back into the swing of things. You understand again how this process works. I'm sure you're going to be fighting again before the year is over. But in the meantime, right, must feel pretty good to be going to Philadelphia tomorrow and being a part of the whole UFC 330 event. It's one of the biggest ones they're going to do in Philly. It's the first time I
What's
think
going?
they're back
Oh, what is
in
it? Like the press
Philadelphia.
for
Yeah, no,
3:30?
I know. No, Jalil's part of Islam Makhachev's fight against Ian Gary. So Jalil's going to be going over there. He's going to be shaking hands, kissing babies,
No, that's what I'm
signing
saying.
autographs.
What's happening over there? Is it a presser? Is there a
Bro? It's
what
the
is
UFC 330. Man, Clay,
UFC
I'm
3:30 is not
disappointed.
tomorrow. When is he
No,
going? You talking about
no.
this weekend?
Yes, he's a part.
Okay,
Jalil is a part of the whole thing. Let me finish my thing with.
No,
Yes,
no, I'm
he's
just
a part
trying to
of
get
it
where you're
all.
at.
He's signing. He's going to be with like WWE wrestlers and
No, I understand
other.
that. I thought you said he was getting ready to be there tomorrow. So I was trying to figure out if there's an event. So that's what I'm asking. What's happening tomorrow?
Yeah, no. He's just flying there.
Tomorrow's. Yeah, tomorrow's. If I'm not mistaken, I have to go look. But tomorrow, I think it's just arrival. I think I have something to do Thursday and Friday.
Right.
Okay.
And then I'll come back home maybe Saturday or Friday night. I have to go look. I've been doing a lot. I'm not sure if y'all can tell, but behind me is the bowling alley that I bowl at. You probably can't see it, but that's the bowling alley that I usually bowl at. I'm literally just leaving the bowling alley. Today was a relatively shitty night out for me.
No, not 170. Your last one I saw was 170. What was it today?
Yeah, today I threw one set. I played one set and I averaged 144, which is a shitty night out. Especially, since I'm looking to join a league soon. The league actually starts next Thursday. So I really have to just lock in. So I've been coming in, once a day during the week, and then during the weekends I come in the morning, and then I get me some games in at night. The night games are a lot much calmer because I might have friends or family with me. But the morning I come in by myself and I really focus on putting up better shots. I recently got another ball as well. So yeah, just doing a lot. Just doing a lot. Hold on. Honestly, 1 second.
You gonna show us the ball and the shoes? Because I know you got your own shoes, man.
Yeah, we go out and we check my trunk. I don't even know if you can flip the camera while you're on here. Can you?
You probably can. I don't know how. I haven't been.
You can, but if you look, I got 3 different bags. This is 2 ball. This is a 3-ball bag, and this is another 2-ball bag, and this is like a 1-ball just in case. So it's like I ain't been fucking around, man.
Dude, so where you getting all these bowling balls from? Like, where's this happening? Is this Modell's? Any sport? Is there a bowling ball store? Like, how does that work? What are you doing?
It's a bowling ball store that I go to. It's a few stores, but it's all about what you're looking for. When I tell people about bowling, I always try to tell them, like, don't fall in love with a brand. Fall in love with, like, more or less like a feel. Like, that's why I have so many balls right now. Cause like I'll buy a ball, I might throw it for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, then I might not be feeling it. And then, I'll throw a different ball for, probably like 3 months straight, and that's my favorite ball. Then I'll stop feeling that ball. So it's all about like the feel, really. Lately I've been throwing with Storm. Storm makes they make a Storm spec. Pretty good. I get good spin on it. I've been throwing with the Storm, and I recently started throwing with a hammer. It's called a Hammer Legacy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but those are the 2 I've really been throwing with lately. What's so crazy is I got the Hammer Legacy. I threw it in 1 day, probably like 2 months ago, and I didn't throw it at all. But since my fight, I've thrown that ball for like almost 2 weeks now. And that's like one of my favorite balls. I even threw that ball the day before yesterday, and I threw 185 with the ball. Whereas when I first got it, I think I threw it the first day I got it, I threw it 1 game, and I threw like 120. So it's like, it's all about feel, really. All about feel.
Is it the league that you're about to join? Is it a semi-pro league, or are you still gonna go amateur first? Like,
no, it's more amateur.
Okay,
more amateur, really. But it's a unisex league, so it's a 3-man league. I got one of my friends and a lady. It's so crazy. A lady that trains at my gym also bowls, and she was just telling me, like, when I find a league, let her know. But she also asked me for my paperwork, as far as like I want you to go throw a few games and bring me back your stats. So I brought her back my stats a few days ago, and she was like, okay, you do this for real. Because I think on the stat sheet I gave her, that day I averaged like 185. So she was like, all right, you're bowling. And so I'm like, all right, cool. We're on the same page.
Man, that's awesome. That is now. Are you excited? Is this going to be your first actual UFC event that you're going to this Saturday? Because it's a big one, Jaleel, in Philly. It's going to be huge. Is it the first time you're going to a live one?
Yeah, this is my first time at a live one. I
watched a lot of bad.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, do you want to go out and come right back in?
Okay, I will.
Yeah, because it's getting worse.
Yeah, it's probably when he stepped out to show us the.
That's what happened.
But that's a lot of money, bro. That's like golf, right? I mean, maybe not as much as golf, but he's spending money on.
No, without a doubt, he's filling his up with bowling balls, bro.
Yeah,
That's why I'm like, damn, bro. I'm feeling like every time after a fight, he's just going to go spend like a quick, you know what I mean, couple of hundred. He's just going up in there and spending a couple of hundred and just getting his adding to the arsenal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's ready for any situation that he can be confronted with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he's like, yo, what? There's a problem. Let me go grab the ball for the situation.
Yeah, no, I mean he got the $50K bonus, so I mean even if he was just using that money, a little bit of that money.
We all have to have our the thing of I mean I think it could be worse. I think he can.
I think it's great that he's. Yeah, I think it's great. You know I think it's great that he loves the bowling because it's good for his mental health.
Let me touch the super chat before he pulls back in. He's already up here. Leonardo, H-Town in the building says, "What up? Hashtag landmine fam." I dubbed the chat the landmines. Okay, that's different. All right, I like that. Claymore, the landmines in the chat. That's creative. Appreciate you, H-Town. Shout out to Chico 84-510 in the building with the $5. Says Clay, aka Mauricio Suleiman. Are you going to let Conor Benn become mandatory at 154? Should he beat Ryan Garcia like you let David Benavidez do at 200? Mauricio's not in the building right now, but we'll answer that a little bit later, Chico. Now everybody likes my Mauricio, bro. I gotta come off the head with that one right there. I don't know.
I gotta find out from Mauricio why Jaleel's not ranked higher. All right, go ahead, Doug.
Yeah. Hold on. I think he's back. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. I saw he went black, so I think he might have got a phone call. Let's see how the sound is. What's up? What's up? You good to go?
You hear me?
Oh, yeah, you're clear. You're crystal clear. You're crystal clear.
Yeah. So the question was about the first UFC. So this is going to be your first UFC event. It's in Philly. Ian Machado Gary challenging the #1 pound for pound UFC fighter in the world, the 170 champ, Islam Makhachev. Are you excited? Are you excited to go to your first UFC event?
Yeah, I'm super duper excited. Can't wait. I'm sure they have a lot for me to do up there. I'm a little bit anxious, because I watched the White House event. I watched that event on Paramount. Of course, I was preparing for my fight. So I watched it. I watched it online. It was a very good event. The Ilia Topuria fight was a hell of a fight with him and don't tell me. Him and Gaethje. And yeah, that was a hell of a fight. I actually picked Gaethje to win, but I didn't think he was gonna stop him. And then Josh Hokett. Josh Hokett, he's become one of my favorites too, just because like the way he carries himself. Super duper unapologetic. But I'm definitely looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, I was telling your dad, I'll call you about the card, but it's double title fights. You're also going to get to see the women, the women's 115-pound strawweight. So you'll get to see like their feel, the way they do the production. I was going to ask you because when like you said, when you were getting ready for the fight, I thought the production for the New York one and the live crowd event was pretty cool. And Clay said it was pretty awesome when he was there live. Now you're going to get to see it from the other side, like how fans feel when they're putting on these events. So I was going to ask you how was the production for you when you were in Madison Square Garden versus the Zuffa, or did you even at the Apex, or did you even kind of remember it at all, or you just kind of went, I just didn't want to trip on my way up to the ring?
I really, like you said, I just really focus on like not tripping when I'm walking to the ring. But I must say that like every fighter's dream is to fight at least one fight at the Garden. So I fought my one fight at the Garden, and when I first stepped out, I immediately looked right up at those lights, those iconic lights that they have at the Garden. And it was surreal. It was like I felt like a little kid all over again. But I definitely enjoyed myself. Definitely soaked it all in. Um, this is my second attempt. If you don't know, my second attempt at a hostile takeover, and it went pretty well. My first attempt was unsuccessful. I lost. My title, my continental title, in my first defense in Puerto Rico back when I was fighting 147. But this right here was like, it was a hostile takeover. Since he's moved to America, he's always lived in Brooklyn. So he had a nice Ukrainian fan base in
Oh
there,
yeah, they were
and
in
yeah,
there.
they were deep. They were deep. And we were getting the Sergey chants, the Ukraine chants, and I just was like in my Kobe bag. I'm trying to silence the crowd. So I just locked in and was getting it done.
So, or do you think you'll be back in the ring this year?
I'm more than likely, more than likely. I officially got back in the gym this week. So just now it's about getting ready, being prepared to whereas like we kind of want a repeat of this past fight camp. By the time the fight was officially announced, we could have fought the next day. Like that's how locked in and ready we were.
Yeah. I mean, are you guys so at this point you've hit this milestone with Sergey Derevchenko? Are we going up still, or are we expecting a bigger fight in the next fight? Are we expecting one of the top guys at 160 over at Zuffa, or like what are you guys thinking? You're gonna close the year out with just like I don't want to say a stay busy fight because I don't know if they're even serving those kind of fights over there, but what are you guys forecasting for the level of the next opponent?
I'm forecasting, like I've been telling everybody else, I'm forecasting money, and Zuffa has a lot of it. So it's not about who, it's about when, and it's about where. You know,
Ooh, I
it
like
doesn't
that.
really matter who.
You
And
just waiting on
the
the phone
money,
call. Whoever it is, you're gonna be
yeah,
like,
the money has been pretty good. So it's not as long as the money's good. The money has always been good. 2 fights in, they've gave me 2 very good checks. With this last fight, we earned performance of the night bonus. So that was an extra 50,000 on top of an already good number. So
Mhm.
it's not about who, it's about when and where.
I
Is
love it.
that a good place to be in? It seems like you're very content in that place. Like it seems like, is that like a great place? Did you ever picture yourself being in that kind of place to where you weren't tripping about the opponent, the next opponent? You were just into the activity and into the money. Is that a new place for you to be in? Are you comfortable in that place, or is that how you've always seen the landscape of boxing for yourself?
That's always how I've seen it mentally. But
Mm-hmm.
like in all actuality, with Zuffa, this is the first time it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had that mindset when I was on Matchroom, but on the back half of my career with Matchroom, it's old now. I was offered a fight with Israel Madrimov for fucking 20,000. Yeah, a 10 rounder for 20,000.
That's
At that
And
time too. At that
crazy.
time when Israel
yeah,
knocked
this is
him off,
this is
right?
yeah, this is at the beginning of 2025, post injury. Post injury, after I told everybody I rolled my ankle, but after I dislocated my ankle, that was the fight I was offered for my
Did
first
he
fight at
already
one.
fight Bud? He already fought Bud, right? At that
Yeah,
point.
he had fought Bud the previous summer. He fought Bud summer of 2024.
Right.
The beginning of 2025, that was the fight I was offered for 20,000. 20,000 was a 10 rounder
And then
for
it
the
just
Wow.
it
W for the
well
WBA Continental Americas title.
terrible, man. That's
A
terrible. That's
title on
why,
the line.
yeah, that's why that's like I feel like and you've felt this now in a year, but in a 1 year time period, you went from Matchroom, Eddie saying what he needed saying, and you felt like the industry, the way the business was working was trying to pack you up. And then a year later, you're now a guy that Dana's looking at. Honestly, especially after this weekend, Dana's looking at you like Jaleel might be my guy. Jaleel is definitely my guy when it comes to the USA side of things, though, for sure. So do you just, in your own mentality, you just sit there and go, man, I'm just going to get back to work and it'll be whatever it is. And I've heard you say before, you're a contract killer. So just tell me who I'm going to fight and when and what the money is. But I did see Coppinger. He keeps pushing the whole Shane Mosley against you. So I know you're going to say yes to a fight like that, but is that something you want next right away, Jaleel, or you really don't care?
Like I said,
it's when and where.
Man,
that's the new line. I'm loving it. It's when and where. He got a phone call.
Oh, he's probably getting a call for Shane Mosley, man.
Listen, I love the line. I love the line, bro. I love that line is tagged for Jaleel now. I love it. It's not about who. It's when and where. That's just like some movie shit. He's coming back in.
Seriously, like that's I mean, Andres Katsourakis is there, but I don't think it'll be Andres. I think that they're trying to push a Shane Mosley fight because Coppinger and those guys wouldn't have said it several times if it wasn't for that. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were already calls being made.
That will be a banger to close out 2026 in. That will bring a victory. Will bring Jaleel Hackett in like a demon on demon time in 2027. Sorry.
Well, I mean, Shane Mosley Jr. currently right now is ranked number 3 by the WBA. So Jaleel used to have the WBA belt. I think it was like the Continental or something like that. That was one of the belts Jaleel had. So I don't know, man. You never know. That might be an interim title type thing.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that might be when it comes to that, but I'm just saying, as far as stylistically, that fight is going to be a great fight. Like anybody who saw Shane Mosley versus Bohachuk and then looked at Jaleel Hackett versus Sergey Derevyanchenko is going to do the math. They're going to do the math and they're going to say, fuck. That's what they're going to say. They're going to say, damn it. That fight right there may be headliner worthy right there. That might be headliner worthy. Like outside of some real big name. I mean, Shane Mosley wasn't a headliner in his last fight against Bohachuk. Right?
Was he the headliner? I know he was the headliner. I was there. He was the main event. So I was just thinking it could be the co-main event to Shakur's fight.
I mean, obviously,
sure.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We bow down to that. If that's what it is, that's what it is. But I'm saying if it's a, you know what I mean? We over here we're playing matchmaker.
We're matchmaking you and where to put you, co-main event or main event.
Potentially. We might be putting you in some trouble potentially. I don't know. We're talking about Shane Mosley. I don't know how you feel about that. The last time, Shane Mosley fought Bohachuk, you picked Shane to pick Bohachuk. You were like, nah, Shane looked like he dialed in. So, I mean, you were about to answer the question. So we'll just leave it from where you was at before. You was literally about to answer, what about Shane Mosley? And I kind of close it out with, it's not about who, it's when, it's where. But maybe you got a different answer.
I would, if I didn't know any better, I would think you were like telepathic and you could read my mind, because the answer does not change. It's not about who, it's about when, and it's about where. So it's like, Shane, I'm sure he would want to do it. I know I want to do it. So
that fight is a headliner. That's a headliner.
No, 1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%.
And you moved accordingly, right? You went from headlining the prelim card to opening up the main card to not co-headlining, but kind of co-headlining, because it was kind of hard to. I would say the Madison Square Garden's like a co-headline because Richardson, Hitchens, and Edgar Berlanga were like co-main event to me. I mean, they had their own walkout and everything like that, but so you was a third one, you was there. So, but regardless, to the middle of the main card to potentially headlining a main card, bro, you're moving very well in the space right now, Jaleel. You're moving very well. Things have changed a lot from this time last year, right? It's a little bit different. The conversation is a little bit different for you, right?
Yeah, it's a lot different.
Quickly. No doubt, man. I hope that fight happens, man. I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to speak on, Angelo? Because I know he just came off of shitting on himself at the bowling alley, so I think he might want to go home with something. Stick to boxing, Jaleel. Stick to boxing. It sounds like boxing is really your thing,
don't
man.
do that, man. Jaleel's gonna be a semi-pro, bro. Don't do that.
I don't know. It sounds like boxing thing, dude. I'm just saying, boxing is definitely the thing.
Today was one of those. Today was one of those days where like I might skip the gym later to come back in and get some more shots up.
There we go.
You don't want to close it out that way? You don't want to close it out? Okay, I got you. You don't want to close it out.
Yeah, because I won't be able to play tomorrow because I'll be in Philadelphia. Won't be able to play Thursday. I'll be in Philly. Won't be able to play Friday. I'll be in Philly. So it's like realistically, I'm about to take a lot of time off. And time off really hurts. Like my first day back post-fight, the first game, I can speak on it now because I know it was a fluke. But my first game back post-fight, I threw like 102.
Ooh, that's bad. I mean, that's like a little kid bad. I might have a better score than 102, man.
Yeah, Cairo has thrown better than 102. So yeah, it took some time to get back into the flow of things. But yeah, I definitely this time off. I'll try not to let it really affect me, but I'm sure to have like a little bit of an effect.
Right.
No doubt.
Yeah, well, I'll call you more about the UFC event. I do want to let you know. So Islam was front row for your fight, so it's kind of cool that you're going to be front row for his fight. So I'll call you about it. But Clay was saying it on the crowd. It was funny because there's the casual fans that are there for your fight, and then when everybody was going crazy when they showed Islam on the board, Clay was saying people were looking at Clay like, hey, who is that guy, man? Like they're casuals. They don't know.
Yeah, they were definitely like, what the hell is everybody going crazy for that dude? They were like, is he Turkey's cousin or something?
He's going to fight soon, and he's going to make the arena go crazy when he fights.
Yeah.
No. He's pound for pound right now. He's kind of like the Floyd Mayweather in some ways, because some people like his style and some people don't. But at the end of the day, man, Islam's the type of guy that if he grabs you, Jaleel, not you personally, but if he grabs an opponent, the fight's pretty much over. If he gets to,
I don't think I want him to grab me.
No, that dude's different. He's a different energy, man. That's a different energy when it comes to that grappling. When it comes to Makhachev, for sure, man.
Yeah.
No
Well,
doubt.
hey, Jaleel, are you doing any more? I know you got this week for UFC. Is there any interviews that we missed? I saw you did like a tequila talk one, and I didn't watch the whole interview. So were you actually drinking tequila there, or what or is it just
I didn't. Talk? Yeah, it's called Tequila Talk, and they were drinking. I wasn't drinking. But like it's a good show. The show, I've watched it once since it was aired on YouTube. The show's fucking hilarious. It's fucking hilarious.
I saw the snippets. I gotta watch it. The snippets were hilarious, so I can imagine what the show.
Yeah, the show was really hilarious. It's drawn a lot of like random attention. Like I even got a call from a fighter that I never in a million years expected a call from. Didn't even know he had my number. Called me and was like, "Yeah, that interview was pretty funny. Like you probably should get into podcasting." And
okay.
No, I'm good. I just want to, keep fighting and keep winning, keep the fans happy. So, eventually we'll fight and I'll kick your ass. And so he's like,
one of those guys. It's somebody who you could be
somebody
fighting
in your division. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Somebody we could definitely fight in the near future.
Okay. Hey man, I like it.
Get me mentally going right now. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all sit down and think about that.
Right.
But you said it's the person you never thought you'd hear from.
Yeah.
I know who it is. He looking for a fight, right? This person.
I don't know. I don't know. Might be.
Y'all know. You might be staying in the space right now, testing the water. You might be checking your temperature, man. You might be.
Yeah.
The good news about a Jaleel Hackett is he is backed by a promotional group that would be willing to let you fight him if you guys want to call. And I think that I've said this to you personally, Jaleel, that I think you're in that Jai Apataya space where a lot of people, they talk the talk, but they don't really want to fight you. right? Because because you're the easiest person to make a fight with. It's not hard to make a fight with you. It's like, hey, if somebody were to I keep hearing Amari Jones. If Amari Jones wants to pick up a phone and call Zuffa, they'll make that fight. But last I checked, he's supposed to fight Aaron McKenna, who just won the belt. That's who he's supposed to fight. So,
and if I'm Amari Jones, I'm going for the McKenna fight. You know, bigger opportunity. You get a chance to become a world champion. And then once you're the man with the belt, you can kind of sort of call the shots. It's like, all right, he could say, I want to fight this guy, or I want to fight this guy. And he's the guy with the belt. So as long as he gets his mandatory out the way, then it's like, it is what it is. He can fight whoever he wants.
Yep. What did you think of that, by the way? Before you leave, that when you watched Aaron McKenna versus Etanisi Oliha, do you see McKenna as a guy that a lot of people are going, because that's his first title fight, 9 years. Took him 9 years to finally get that one shot that Zuffa gave him. He's an IBF champion, the world champ now. But what did you think of it? What did you think of his performance? Did you like it?
He performed really well. And that's a fight that I would really like later on down the line. If it was my next fight, that would be perfect. But realistically, later on down the line.
Right. I mean, we're just being truthful that there's no way Aaron McKenna's people are going to be like, Jaleel Hackett's our next fight, because there's the whole Amari Jones order. They're probably going to move a different way. Was there anyone else on the Saturday night Zuffa 10 card, because there were 6 middleweights, that kind of made you go, oh, that guy's pretty cool?
McKenna's brother was pretty nice. Hickey was nice also. Hickey was nice also. But just stepping out of my division for a second, I'm not sure if y'all watch, but Patrick O'Connor.
You like him, huh?
Yeah, I watched him.
Something special. Something special. When I first started camp for this fight, that was my first day of sparring. Me and Pat, we did 8 rounds.
You and Pat? Okay.
It's a different energy because you was in the ring with him.
Yeah, that's a big boy. I've been working with Pat. Me and Pat have been sparring together for like 5 or 6 years now. I'm 23. Wow. Yeah, so like 5 or 6 years. And Pat has been coming along real well. Super big guy, but like he fights as if mentally like he's small. So like he'll run off combinations like a smaller guy, like similar to how Benavidez fights. Like he's heavy-handed, but he will run off combinations. He will like be active. He will use his feet. So like definitely somebody y'all should look out for.
All right, you think he's gonna stay a cruiserweight? Because like you said, he's a big guy.
Realistically, he can, especially with the nutritionists and the dietitianists that the UFC and Zuffa have. He can be a cruiserweight for a while.
Okay, I saw that, by the way. You're one of the few fighters that UFC Ignite is actually using as their person, right? That I think you're the only boxer that UFC Ignite is pushing out right now.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm living proof of like what their plans work. I'm a guy who struggled at 147 with weight, made a pit stop at 154, but my body told me, maybe you should go to 160. My first fight, that was supposed to be at 160 was at 57, and it wasn't like impossible to make the weight, but it was still a little bit, not a challenge, but I had to put some work in to get there. And then we think about my first official fight at 160 for a boxer, a professional boxer, to tell you that the morning of his fight, he ate, some snacks before the weigh-in, and he still came in 3 pounds underweight. Is like, maybe those guys know what they're talking about as far as, weight cut and dietary needs.
Right. And would you say too, Jaleel, during the whole fight week, you didn't really change your diet too much, right? Like even though you were about to make weight.
I didn't change my diet until the day before the fight.
Wow.
No, the day before the weigh-in. Correction.
Wow. So really is it the best weight cutting week you've ever had in your life? Just being able to
absolutely. I think the day of the night before the weigh-in, we had like some media obligations, so I did that, and then I walked on the treadmill for like an hour. I walked on the treadmill for like an hour, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna just go to bed.
Wow. Well, and sleeping was good too. No problem with the sleep, right?
Yeah, sleeping's always well, especially like when your mental's right, and my mental was pretty good.
Man, that's awesome. That is
No
awesome.
doubt, no doubt, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Well, that East
Oh,
Coast fight, man, we're looking forward to that. It's probably going to happen here real soon before the year's
No,
over.
definitely, man, definitely. God willing. Like I always say, I appreciate you guys for covering me. Appreciate you guys for having me on. Gotta thank my team, thank God, thank Zufa, for putting me in this position. And we'll have some fight news for you guys soon.
Yep.
no doubt,
Yes,
no doubt.
sir.
Looking forward to hear from you, man. Enjoy yourself, man. Get yourself together,
Uh,
get something to eat, man, and
for
good luck on
sure.
that bowling for
Yeah.
later tonight, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Bowl
see, I don't want
tonight
to
at
make,
180, man. 180
I don't
tonight.
want to see make
Yeah.
it make
185.
it
We're
worse.
gonna play it by ear. We may bowl tonight, we may not bowl tonight, depending on everything. But I definitely, I really want a bowl tonight. Like I wish, like oh my goodness, I wish I could. Where's the score sheet? I actually have this. I collect the score sheet every day post bowling.
Nightmare.
Me and one of my teammates from my league, we bowl together. We've been bowling together every day. 1 second. Yeah, today was not a good day.
And you
Um,
saved it anyway.
yeah, we played one set. Hold on. Once again, I cannot flip this camera. Yeah, so we played one set. I don't know if y'all can really see, but
No, we can see what it is, but we can't see the points for real, for real.
yeah. So all right, so boom, I can tell you.
Mhm.
In the one set, the game one, I threw 131, which is horrible. Game
Is that
two,
horrible? I was 170 great, 131 horrible.
No, 131 is terrible, Clay. You got to get as close
yeah,
as you can to 300
300 is the max.
the max.
300 is the max. I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you do the math on that.
Yeah, if you
137
have
is
if
pretty
you
bad.
if you're a pro, Clay, you have to your average low has to be 180. If you're a pro, that's your low. You have to be at 220.
No, because I remember you celebrating 170.
Yeah, 170 is
Yeah,
great
because
you're
like
not a pro.
170 is a good game. That's a
Yeah,
good game
man.
for a guy who's not a pro.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
130 is a horrible game.
Oh,
Yeah.
horrible, bro. I
40,
can score a
40
130.
points is a
No,
huge
that's
difference.
yeah.
So we played a whole set. So a whole set is 3 games. The first game I threw 131, which is god awful, like I said. Second game I threw 137, also god awful. And the third game I threw 140, which is pretty bad also. So just got a lot to work on, really. Just a whole lot to work on. And like I said in the fighters meeting, in order to throw a 300, you have to stay focused for 13 throws. 10 frames, but 13 throws. Because you have to throw 9 strikes, and then on the 10th frame, you have to throw 3 more strikes. So that's 13 throws that you have to stay focused to throw a good 300 game. So for me, I'm a 10-round fighter. I'm telling myself you have to stay focused for 10 rounds. You have 10 frames. The first 9 frames, the goal is to not leave any opens. So like if you throw your first throw, pick up 2. It's all about the cleanups. That's how you close out a frame. And you get to the 10th frame, just close out strong. If you can get 3 strikes, cool. But if not, make sure you get a strike and a spare, or spare and a strike. Just always finish it strong. And I feel like I haven't been doing that in here, as I just told you guys my scores. So yeah, it's just about locking in and refocusing myself. And honestly, I think it'll get easier to refocus myself when I have a fight day. That's my prediction.
Okay.
That's my prediction. Right now, I bowl relatively focused, but I'm bowling to become a better bowler. Whereas when I'm preparing for fights, I bowl to prepare myself mentally for my fight.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
it's all yeah. I think I'll be much better when I get a fight day.
Man,
Hope,
hey, I like it, Jalil.
I
You
hope
should
that
write
you're
a
better
book
tonight,
called
man. I hope you're better
yeah.
tonight, man. You
Yeah,
always
I
keep
definitely
those out.
I definitely hope I'm better tonight because the league I'm joining is a 3-player league. and I bowl with one of my teammates now. And later on, I'll probably bowl with the other teammate, and the other teammate's pretty fucking good. So yeah, I
Step
don't
it
want
up.
them to see me bowl and be like, yeah, what the fuck do you got going
Yeah.
on?
Like you cool and anything, but man, you sure you ready for the big leagues? We know we out here trying to win. You know what I mean?
Plus, you got Jaleel bringing in the high end gear. He's got his nice bag. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't want to be like a poser. You know, it's like
I don't want to look like a poser. Like when I go into the bowling alley now, I'm very proud that they know who I am. It's like they know Jaleel Hackett the boxer, but they know like, yeah, he also bowls and he's pretty good.
Right.
No doubt.
All
right, Jaleel, man.
I love it.
I'm gonna let you slide, man. I know you got to get to it, man. We got to move it ourselves, man. Let us know what's going on. You know, we'll stay in touch. Looking forward to that next fight. If it's Shane Mosley, woo, that's another one. That's another level up. But like you said, when and where.
Yes,
when
sir.
and where.
Absolutely, you know it.
Yes, sir.
Jaleel Hackett, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you, brother.
El Negro Mexicano, everybody.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
For sure. Yeah, man. That bowling be getting Jaleel not playing about that bowling, bro. He dead serious about that bowling,
man.
Bro.
Hey, that's a good hobby to have, right? It's a good hobby to have. They talked about it a lot.
I don't know nothing about. I gone bowling like I'd say in my lifetime, I've probably gone bowling like less than 10 times.
What?
Yeah, bro.
Really? I mean, you live in Amish Town, bro. I figured you'd have been a big fan of that. No. Because Kingpin's probably the most famous bowling movie, and that was with the Amish.
But I'm not from here, so you know what I'm saying. I'm a New Yorker. Right. Even then, it's just like, just never bowling for me. Just never that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's crazy or not, but it's never been that for me. You know what I'm saying? Never been bowling, bro.
It's like golf. I mean, it is. It's all focus, concentration.
Yeah, golf to another game, never.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think I played the most I've ever done with golf is go to top golf.
Okay. Yeah, that's not real golf, but yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like that's the closest to actual golf that I ever gotten to. I've been a basketball dude, played football, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Done things like that. And of course, you know what I'm saying? The ladies. But you know what I'm saying? But listen, man, I want to tap into a couple more topics before we bounce. It's almost that time, man. We talked about Bomac and this whole, we left off talking about what Bomac saw in this whole Conor Benn Ryan Garcia situation. We'll see how that pans out. Obviously, on fight night, it is what it is. But I thought it was interesting that this guy doesn't want to be at 147 no more after this one. I thought it spoke to him struggling a little bit. What do you think about Daniel Dubois, Fabio Wardley 2 in October? A little too soon? Am I crazy? Like, did Fabio?
No, I mean, I don't know, man. If Fabio Wardley's all healed up like Wolverine, and you know what it is?
I like you said that.
Yeah. And also remember that the rematch clauses usually have like a time period. So with Xander, he declined it before the limit ended, but there is a time period to the rematch, right? So, he probably trying to get it in before the rematch clause expires, right? But hey, at the end of the day, why would you turn down a rematch payday? If you're Fabio Wardley, why would you turn down a rematch payday? Right? Like, what's your move exactly? What do you're a prize fighter, you're trying to make money. You already know what it feels like to get beat up on by Daniel Dubois, but there are a few adjustments there that you could have made. You did hit Daniel a certain way. And plus, on any given night, like Jaleel Hackett just said, man, how do I know Daniel Dubois is going to have a bad night in October? He looked good and then think about that. What if Fabio Wardley beats Daniel? That's a trilogy payday now. So I'm down for it. I'm cool. And I like Fabio Wardley.
I'm definitely down with it. It was a great fight. The first one was an ass whooping, but I mean, it was still a great fight at the end of the night. But I do question, you know what I'm saying, how much can he really, you got to think that after he got out of that fight, he had to sit down for at least 60 days. Right, at least.
I mean, I don't know what their concussion. I don't know what the concussion protocol is, though. Did he get?
I know you don't know, but I'm saying somewhere in that range. I'm saying, and I'm only putting that together to say that it was 5 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago that fight happened.
I have to look at the date because we called it. Was it in April? I think it was Was it April that it happened? Let me look. Daniel Dubois, but I hear what you're saying. You're thinking October. If it's already been 6 months, though, Clay, then
maybe he's going on 6 months. I don't know. And on top of that, you know, the adjustments that he needs to make. What adjustments would you be looking to see from Fabio Wardley going into this fight against Daniel Dubois? I mean, I low-key feel like he should have, yeah. Personally,
so check this out. It was May 9th.
Mhm.
So let's say he got a 90-day, right? So that'd be June 9th, July 9th, August 9th. So that means if it was a 90-day suspension of not being able to get back in the ring, now let's say the fight is October, right? What did the date say? October 18th or something
October
like
17th
that, right?
or something like that,
17th. Okay, all right. So then you do training camp in September. That's 8 weeks, right? Or even if you started training camp already next week, that's 8 weeks. No, man, he's good, baby. It's all good. He's fine.
Listen, I'm sure he's checking the boxes on being in compliance with the rules and, you know, whatever have you. Yeah, man, get your money. Do what you do, man. I think it's too soon, though. I ain't gonna lie, man. I think that fight goes very similar to how I went. I think it might go worse than the first time, just based off the strength. I think he's going to try to use that athleticism. He's going to try to use his angles. He's going to try to box more, and I don't know if that's in his arsenal to really do that. I think it's going to take energy for him to do something that's unnatural to him. He might look good in the first 3 or 4 rounds, I'm saying, moving around, but I think that it's going to tap into that conditioning, into that box a little bit. Daniel Dubois is somebody who's shown the ability to show up in the championship rounds. He was in a hard body ass fight with Jarrell Big Baby Miller, and he knocked him out in the last seconds of the 10th round. So he showed that until the fight is over, it's not over with him. And he showed that he can take those shots, go down, and get back up and win the fight. I've always told everybody that Daniel Dubois' mental game and his physical game is 2 different conversations. You know, mentally, he can get pulled out of a fight if he gets frustrated by somebody who's making it difficult for him to figure things out. But physically, he can take a beating. He did it against Phillip. He did it against Jarrell Big Baby Miller, and shit. Even in the round when he knocked out Anthony Joshua, he did it because Anthony was laying some heat on his ass, and he reacted like, you know, he bit down on his gum shield and put Anthony Joshua down. Fabio Wardley can't come in just spamming that right hand constantly like he did last time. He's going to have to mix it up. He's going to have to set things up. He's going to have to touch that body on Daniel Dubois, use his angles, use his feet. And I think he can do it for a little while because I think he's athletic. I think he's more athletic than Daniel Dubois. You know what I'm saying? Even though Daniel Dubois is considered somewhat of an athletic heavyweight, but in comparison to Fabio Wardley, I think Fabio is a more athletic guy. I think he can dance a little bit more, use his feet. I could see him being a little slick and trying to find those shots and trying to set up that big right hand. And he'll land the right hand. For sure, he'll land the right hand. I believe he'll land the right hand. But I think it's a little too early for him, man. I think he would have, you know, get your payday, but I don't know. I feel like
he you know, the thing is, like, Fabio's 31, I think now, versus Daniel's 28. So it's heavyweight fighting. What's the worst case?
Fabio's 31?
I thought he was 31.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, or he could be 30 or 31, but I know that Daniel is 28, right? So you don't want to, I mean, again, this is the whole, so I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, this is how fights don't get made. Because I shout out to Fabio Wardley for doing this. This is what I wish American fighters would do more. Like, cool, I'm good. I lost. Let me fight again. You know, let me fight again within this year, right? But look at the whole, and again, people are going to hate it that Angelo's picking on Devin Haney, but Devin Haney took the time to sue the man instead of figuring out how to make a rematch. I'm just saying, right? Like, versus Fabio Wardley's like, cool, man, I'll rematch you, no problem. So yeah, Daniel Dubois 28, Clay. Fabio Wardley is 31. He's going to be 32 in December. So yeah, why not get the rematch now? Best case scenario, you win. Now you got a trilogy in your hands. Worst case scenario is you lose, you move on. But you know, you're in the heavyweight division. Anything can happen in the heavyweight division. And I know you're excited about your boy fighting in 2 weeks from now, but oh no, man! What if Philip Hergovich puts down the Moses train?
Oh no, that's definitely
what if that
on my mind. That's definitely matter of fact. That's actually almost damn near the next topic. I think. Yeah, that's definitely the next topic is Boots and Kelly. But yeah, listen, it is what it is, man. We'll see what happens October 17th. It is what it is, man. I think it's going to be a little bit worse than the first time. That's what I believe. But maybe Fabio can shake it up and show improve on the night. You know what I'm saying? That he can make the adjustments and show those wrinkles to his game. So that being said, Jerron Boots Ennis and Josh Kelly looks like it's closer to being a real thing. So it looks like Josh Kelly's kind of confronted with some real shit, right? I'm hearing rumors that Bakram may be creeping around, maybe becoming mandatory.
Yeah. So why would you do that for no money when you could go fight Boots for a lot more money?
Well, 100%, right? 100%. It's either Boots or it's going to be Fundora, and I don't think Fundora is available. He has a fight, his next fight coming up whenever it's coming up. Boots is the one with the availability. So it looks like he's pushing, and obviously it's a little easier to put together because it's all under one umbrella. It looks like that fight's going to become more real than I thought it was. To be honest with you, I was kind of worried. I didn't know if it was going to be real because I didn't know if Josh Kelly was going to take the time to heal. You know what I'm saying? But once again, another fighter who was in a bit of a war in his last fight and is about to go right back into another fight against, quite frankly, probably the best 154-pounder out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, he is. No, Boots Ennis is the best 154-pounder out there. And the only way to prove that to not be true is if Virgil Ortiz were to step up and take less money to go fight Boots. But you and I both know he's not going to do that. Rick Meridian.
They seem like they're willing to take less money. They seem like they're willing to.
A lot less money, Clay. Know what I'm saying?
Oscar said he understands that he's the B-side. They understand the position. They understand that he's the B-side and that he has to take. I think he would do it. I think Virgil would do it at this point. But I just think Boots is not going to give up on an opportunity to unify. If Josh Kelly is willing, he's going to go that way, which I think he should. You know what I mean? I just think that's what he's going to do, right? I'm not going to take that lightly. He's way focusing on becoming undisputed. He won't walk away from a title fight to fight Virgil.
Yeah. No, I mean, the only way I see Kelly and Boots not happening, it has nothing to do with Matchroom putting it together, is if somehow Virgil were to make it happen. But I don't think Virgil's going to do it, man. In fact, with Virgil being number 2 now, and
Boots would take the fight with Virgil for the right amount of money.
Oh yeah. No, if you're not, no, why not? That's the Ring Magazine title. That's number 1, number 2. Boots is number 1, and Virgil Ortiz is number 2. So if they were giving, let's say it was 75-25, like the Keyshawn thing, right? And they were going to give 75% of the profits to Boots Ennis to go fight Virgil. I mean, like, honestly, in your opinion, what's the bigger fight? In terms of like marketability, mass. I mean, I guess Josh Kelly could bring to the table the whole, we could sell out a UK stadium so you could get more attendance revenue from that, on the Boots end. So that's the question. Do you think Boots Ennis actually gets paid more because of revenue on a Josh Kelly fight? Or do you think he gets paid more, let's say Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz, and they do it like
Boots Ennis historically doesn't think about money like that. He doesn't hold money up as that much of a selling point for him. Money has never been able to move Boots Ennis. Boots was confronted to make his biggest payday against Virgil Ortiz, and he stayed back and fought Karen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He fought Stanionis. You know what I'm saying? He had a big payday opportunity to fight Teofimo Lopez, and he went and fought Usama Lima. He had a big payday opportunity to fight Devin Haney, and he went up and fought Usama Lima. You know what I'm saying? Usama Lima. I mean, that's why Turkey literally don't even want to deal with him, right? Because Turkey's always trying to make the bigger fight and offer him the paydays, and it doesn't move him. So historically, money doesn't move the needle for Jerron Ennis that much. And I just feel like he looks at unification as a big deal. I don't even know how if that's on the table, if the lineal championship is really on the table, that could be something that could persuade him 100%. But that would hold more weight, that lineal championship, than I think the money is. Unless, I mean, Boots has literally given, not only has he not taken his biggest payday, but he's given away out of his money to make a fight for unification. So he already had a lower payday, and then he took out of his money and gave it to the opponent in order to make the fight happen over the belts, and left the big payday on the floor. So big fight. I don't think Boots is concerned. He's had opportunities to make big fights and walked away for lesser money for himself greater legacy. So
well, then maybe. I guess that means Virgil's just on the crapper, because Fundura's fighting hard to BJ. And then I'm sorry, I'm laughing when I say that, bro. Fundura seems to not want to fight anybody good. So, but it is what it is. And then if Boots and Kelly, that's a match. Eddie, I'm sure Eddie's the pitch man that he is, will sit with Kelly and go, listen, bloke, if you fight Bakram again, this is how much money you make.
Right.
Boots, This is how much money you made.
He's running into the fire. He's like, I'm gonna make something off this damn IBF title. I ain't just gonna sit here and do that.
Right.
Sure.
So I think that gets made. So then who does Virgil fight? Who is how does Oscar promote Virgil?
Potentially Conor, probably. It sounds like it's possibly
Chris Conwell.
Charles Conwell. Sounds like it sounds like it's potentially Charles Conwell, but it sounds like to me, or maybe Keith Thurman, right?
Yeah,
maybe a Keith Thurman fight, or not Keith Thurman. Sorry,
Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu. Yeah,
maybe a Tim Tszyu fight.
Tim Tszyu keeps talking about moving up to 160. So who knows, man? Who knows?
Right.
But no, I'm good. I'm good with Boots versus Kelly. I'm good that it's a unification. That's awesome. He'll have 3 of the belts, and then Fedor will remain the duck that he is if they never fight. If Boots moves on.
I think Robert Garcia has talked about Virgil going up to 160, saying that wouldn't be too much of an issue to go fight a Tim Tszyu, to make a big fight with Tim Tszyu, which kind of led me believing like, ooh, you struggling a little bit down there, bro. What you got going on down there, bro? You can't do the 154 anyway. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, what's really going on? So we'll see how that one plays out. You know what I'm saying? That seems to be closer. Also, obviously, Moses Atama, Philip Ergovich. We kind of spoke on this already. I want to skip past this because it's about that time for me. I want to get right into the Noah McKellian interview. Did you get a chance to catch that?
Oh, yeah, I liked it. I like that he spoke the truth, man. I told you that I'm the one that told you that the McKellian deal was already being made because I was there in March. McKellian was there. That's what I thought was the fight. I thought that fight was supposed to actually happen in July.
That Ray, you in the DR? Okay, so that's where you at, Ray? Because I heard you went to the Republic. Okay, man.
Okay, cool.
That's what's up, brother.
All right.
You deserve a vacation, brother. Salute to you, man. I'm happy to hear. That actually made me feel good to find out that's where you're at, bro. That's what's up, awesome. Bro.
Good job, Ray. Good job. So no, I'm the one that told you that. I thought that Jai Opetaia versus McKellian was supposed to happen in July. That's the canceled show. That was the canceled Zuffa show that didn't end up happening here. So and it's a lot of it has to do with this whole weird. I mean, people are getting attacked, or Sean's telling them is getting attacked right now because they're like, why aren't you guys talking about the fact that Don King's getting in the way of the Muhammad Ali Act at this point, right? Or the WBC? I still haven't seen. Has it been made public that the WBC will strip Noel McKellian? Because I haven't seen an actual public report yet that Noel McKellian's going to get stripped.
It kind of sounds like they can't do it without really looking even more crazy, right? And that conversation is just an interesting conversation because Noel McKellian is just really a fighter who looks like he has nothing to lose, right? So he's just being extra transparent on everything. He's being extra transparent on just what's been happening for the past year with Don King, with these belts, with what he thinks about these belts, what he thinks about these fights. And it's not a good look for the Ali Act. It's not a good look for Don King. And it's definitely not a good look for Mauricio Suleiman because even McKellian's questioning the whole entire, this guy's a unified champion, just came up here, won a belt of Zurdo Ramirez. How did he become my mandatory? How did, he's questioning all these things like, how the hell did all this come together? Jai was the number 1 guy. He was ranked number 1 with the WBC. Yeah. How did David Benavidez jump over him and become the mandatory? And Jai Opetaia was not only, a mandatory for my belt, but before that, he was stripped of an IBF title that he never lost inside the ring. He's a current lineal champion. How in the world is a David Benavidez fight the bigger fight as far as legacy-wise, as far as the way it's supposed to be? How did David Benavidez just come into, he was just, as somebody who's a boxer for a long time, he was kind of thrown off by the way everything happened. He's just like, this just doesn't make sense. I didn't even think that this was possible, I don't know, man. It just kind of made, I just think if Mauricio takes his belt away from him, it's going to really look bad for them, worse than it needs to.
Well, imagine being one of the media people that day, right? So it's the WBC fight between Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. So how many questions do you think Mauricio is going to have to field for the whole? So I don't understand. Noel McKellian never lost the WBC belt. Why are you guys stripping him? Do you really want to spend a whole fight week having to answer that question? Confusing the public even more, trying to talk about the committee voted and this is the committee's decision and we're just following the WBC rules. What rules? What rules are we talking about? So no, brother, I still think that they're not going to mess around like that because it's a PR nightmare. It's a PR nightmare to have to explain to a bunch of casual fans why a champion got stripped of a belt.
Yeah, man. And Mauricio's been doing a good job of just kind of filibustering and doing his thing. People have been accepting it, but I just think it's getting harder and harder for that to go over. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of leaning more towards this fight's going to be for that WBC title.
Yeah, of course. I still think after this IBF that just got handed to Aaron McKenna, I think it's going to be a unification.
You think the IBF is going to give him his belt back?
Yeah, man.
I don't think they're going to give him the belt back. I don't think they're going to give it. I think they'll give him a chance to fight for it.
So what just happened on Saturday is David Nika, who had already been knocked out by Jai, just beat Floyd Mason, who had already been knocked out by Jai, to be the IBF eliminator, right? Supposedly it's a Vidal Riley thing, right? Because Vidal Riley is the interim. Clay, man, Jai done beat up on everyone at the IBF. If you have an opportunity for the IBF to be shown to 95 territories and make yourself look good by giving the belt back to Jai Opetaia, who's the Ring Magazine and Zuffa champ, like, come on, man. Or do you really want to go through a lawsuit? Let's just, you know what I'm saying, right? Do you really want to go through a lawsuit, or do you just want to give the belt back and call it is what it is, get some good press, and get 3% of whatever Jai getting paid? Because I think the way it works is you would get 3% of Jai's, and then I think there's a fee coming from McKaylen also. So they would get a double fee, bro. So yeah, man, I think it's a unification. Yeah,
100%. Shout out to Chico84-510 in the building with the $5. Says Zattel rightfully getting called out because he has all the smoke for Dana and Turkey, but none for King and Samson Leakowitz and how he did Edwin De Los Santos. Yeah, man. Listen, man, I saw a great conversation between Radio Raheem and Sean Zattel, and I saw Sean Zattel be very humble and quiet and allow Radio Raheem to really just be the voice of reason, right? He didn't really join the conversation that much, where Radio Raheem was really calling it out for what it was. I mean, he called out Zuffa as well. He called out their role in it, and I agreed with everything Radio Raheem said. I've been saying the same thing about Zuffa as well, as far as, bro, just speak on this sanctioning body conversation. Put the right perspective on it. Make it clear. You're hosting these fights. You got an IBF champion on your card over the weekend. You got a WBC title one of your fighters is fighting for. You got Jai Opetaia, who's been stripped of a title but was a champion. Speak on it at this point. Just, hey, man, this is what it is. We willing to do this, and that. We don't got no problems with this, and that. What we have problems with is this, and that. But outside of that, we blah, 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 blah. Whatever it's going to be, put perspective on it, because you got to I'm going to give Zuffa their accountability on their part of the issue, right? You come out and you say you're not effing with the sanctioning bodies. You're not acknowledging them. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. But you keep on mixing it up, muddying the waters by working with their belts. Nobody has problems with you working with their belts. We're actually happy you are. I think boxing fans want to see that. They don't want to see across the street politics no more. We want to go away from that. We don't want to go into that. Zuffa was supposed to be a league separate from the traditional space, and we were okay with that as well, because that wasn't across the street politics. That was a separate situation. That was a league you were creating. But then you signed the WBO champion in Shakur Stevenson. You signed Jai Opetaia. Now you have Aaron McKenna. Aaron McKenna. And then you have a headline between Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn for the WBC title. So clearly we all can read the room or read the ring and see that you guys are willing to work with the sanctioning bodies. That is different than what your stance was going into this year in your inaugural opening. You know what I'm saying? In the way you planned on doing the year, which is okay. And I think Radio Raheem said it too as well. He's like, I love the way you guys are moving right now. I want you guys to keep doing it. But at the same time, clear it up. Because Mauricio and these other guys and whoever runs the IBF, I can't remember their names, those guys are in their feelings. Darryl Peoples. They're in their feelings. And they're moving in a way that's kind of disgusting as well. Like, he called it out and said, that shit is disgusting, what they're doing. We all can see what they're doing. But at the same time, you grown folks need to stop playing like children. Stop doing this. Stop trying to one-up each other and fucking be like, ha, 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 ha. Fuck all that. It's going to, at some point or another, it becomes toxic for the fan. Because the fan is, we sitting out here debating with each other about what can be done, what will be done, what won't be done, this and all that shit. So after a while, you bring confusion to the space that you said you was going to bring structure and order to. You said you was going to come in here and iron it out and make it make sense. And it sounds like, especially on the back end of all these promotional companies coming up under the DAZN now. So it's like, finally, the across the street politics seems to be answered. But here you come with that other part of it again. Now there's across the street politics again, and now you'll never see this fight. Why? Because he's over there. Even Oscar playing the game. They're all the adults, all of the powers that be in the sport are acting like fucking kids, and the boxers want to fight. They all ready to fight. Granted, Zuffa is when confronted with the situation, they always seem to go with making the fight. Zuffa has not once gotten in the way of a fight and said that can't happen because they're not over here. That's true, but you're still playing a game. You're still playing your role in it. They wouldn't be able to play that game if you were just to clarify it and just put it on the table and make it clear as to what's going on so that we can see it. So I appreciated that whole conversation between Radio Raheem and Sean Zettel. I thought Sean Zettel played the background. I thought it was nasty work. I think, brother, just you're very righteous when you stand on your point, when you're feeling it, but we can see you play the background. When it flipped the other way, you owe the space for your credibility. It's just like with Keyshawn Davis, right? I love Keyshawn Davis. I think he's a great fighter. I don't love him. That was crazy. That was diabolical. But I'm a big fan of Keyshawn Davis. You know what I'm saying? But when he played the stupid game, played duck, I was afraid. People were like, damn, you went hard on him on Friday. That's because I went so hard for him before Friday. So, you know what I'm saying? I had to keep the same energy. I couldn't play that game and allow him to do that and all of a sudden be like, well, we got to wait and see. Fuck that. Nah, bro, I'm cooking you. Bro. You got me out here looking crazy. And I'm not saying you got to cook, but Sean Zettel, you should have cooked because Radio Raheem played it the right way. He cooked, and he even talked about it, about marrying positions and marrying takes and, you know what I'm saying, not being able to, being too fanatical on one side. And he said it like, I'm here for boxing. And that's why I fuck with Radio Raheem. I always have, you know what I'm saying? Like I met him one time. That dude is 100% thorough, bro. Whether you agree with him or disagree with him, that's a different conversation. That's just boxing talk. But he don't play that game. I never seen Radio Raheem in real time really take a side that was like diabolical. He's always just kept it right down the middle. Even when he had the conversation with Sean Zettel and
Amir Abdullah and Nico Ali.
He made it clear, like, yeah, bro, I wasn't really even standing on this shit like that. That was Sean. Like, I kind of like, you know what I mean? I give his props, but because why was he saying that? Because you're making sense, bro. That's why he was saying that. He was basically saying, yeah. Truthfully, I didn't even do the research that I need to really, truly be able to debate you like that because I don't give a fuck about it. I'm more about the boxing. So, Sean, you did all the research.
What do you have to say?
Yeah. You kind of got a point there, Sean. You want to...
Right.
Because he kind of...
Okay, so Leonard Sterling, shout out to Leonard Sterling with the 2 pounds. He's saying MF Pro, which is Amir Abdullah's group, has already posted that Vidal Riley and Nika has been ordered for the vacant. Yeah, we knew about this though. But here's my question back to you, Leonard. So you honestly believe that, and this could happen. You could be right. You honestly believe that you're going to give Max Kellerman a chance to cook the sanctioning bodies in front of 95 territories on Access Paramount Plus for Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn. So we agree that it's going to be a massive viewership. It might even break a lot of numbers that will shock people, right? In terms of how many people are really going to watch Ryan Garcia, who was on the Tonight Show, versus Conor Benn on Paramount Plus, right? So subscribers and the whole bit. So you're going to allow Max Kellerman to have a whole soliloquy about how this is what's wrong with boxing. The fact that Noel McCallan was stripped tonight. The fact that Jaya Pataya was stripped wrongfully and he's in a lawsuit. You really think that's what's going to happen, bro? Or do you think that the sanctioning bodies are smart enough to go, you know what, man? We don't want to get embarrassed on a major media platform on this day. Let's just give it to them today. And let's worry about the semantics after today. Let's just let this happen, you know.
I believe that if it's been ordered, it's more shit. So you kind of forced to follow through what you said. You can't just keep playing these games. It's just more games. It's more games, right? Like at the end of the day, it's more games. You have to kind of like, you got to work it out to where it's not any more games, to where, okay, the winner of Vidal Riley and Nakia fight Jaya Pataya. You know what I'm saying? Like you keep adding shit to it. It's just going to be more shit. It's not going to work out for them in the long run, because I think at some point or another, the Vidal Rileys of the world and the kids are going to be like, what the fuck?
Right.
You know what I mean? Now they're gonna come with the games. What kind of games y'all playing with us now? I'm supposed to be fighting for a title next. I earned that. But our rally definitely earned that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if anything, I should be fighting Jao Pataya for the title, not just give Jao Pataya the title back. You already took it off of him and made it for us to fight for a vacant. So unless they're gonna do like an interim IBF title for them and then try to flip it that way, but they'd have to make it make sense. They can't just continue. They can. Listen, if they do, it doesn't shock me that much because I know the sanctioning body space is just at this point full of a lot of human waste, but it doesn't help them, I don't think, for them to play that game.
Yeah, no, they're just gonna get killed, man, on national TV. Chico says to defend.
He says to defend Zuba, it's the good cop, bad cop. Word. Okay. Dana does the bad cop in the media and gets content creators talking, and Nick Khan, good cop behind the scenes. Truth.
Okay.
I'm be real with you. Dana and Nick, the thing that they do is they don't say nothing about it. That's the thing that they do, right?
They do the no comment.
Right. They just do the no comments and the anything is possible. And, those, you know what I mean? I'm coming for everybody and, and a smile, right? And but that's once again, they're participating in the game. They're participating in it. And to a large degree, I say they're winning because they're at least delivering the fights. Yep. They're not getting in the way of their fighters making the fight. So they have that going for them. Like the sanctioning bodies and the Oscar De La Hoyas of the world are literally getting in the way of fights being made, which is way more egregious, in my opinion, than anything else. Actually getting in the way, literally saying on the back end of Rayo Venezuela, on the back end of Rick Meridian saying, I want to see Rayo Venezuela and William Zepeda going, yeah, that'd be nice, but you're with Zuffa. Oh, God, bro. Like, you just completely can't read the room, Oscar. You're completely suck at this. Like, you're completely back into the across the street politics. Stop doing that and trying to preach that you're something that, stop trying to come at Dana and all them when you're doing shit like that. Stop that shit, bro. Stop getting in the way of fights and then looking stupid later when the fight gets made and then looking dumb and then trying to tell the whole entire world that you were putting this whole together from the first place. Hey, what you wanted? That's what you look. That's crazy. Stop. You just I would stop. Somebody likes you, like Eric Gomez, tell him to stop. That shit was crazy when he does that. It doesn't look good. It's a horrible look. You've done it so many times. It's disgusting. You did it with Ryan. You did it with Devin. You did it with Virgil. You did all this shit, and then you know what I mean. Then you have to backpedal and act like and try to sell the world that you're the one still doing it. It's just stupid. It is what it is. Shout out to Chico84 with the $2. Says it's war. It will get clean after Zuffa takes over. Yeah, I mean, it is war. It is war. I agree. It is war. It definitely is war, man. It is war. Donnie956 says, now that Amari Jones is mandatory for Aaron McKenning, Oscar isn't keeping that same tune. And we're going to see how he does that.
Yeah, because he's going to lose Amari Jones if he prevents Amari Jones from getting a Zuffa bag. Because that's what it is. It's if it goes to, let's say they want to play the sanctioning body games, Donnie, right? And they do the whole, let it go to purse bid. Zuffa's going to pay the most money for the purse bid in order for Aaron McKenna to keep the belt that he was promised to have. Amari Jones will then make hella money off of that purse bid. So how stupid, what's Oscar? You tell me, Clay, who's Oscar going to offer Amari Jones to make the money he could have made for Zuffa to fight for a world title?
Nobody. You're going to literally have to hold them for making the money. And I've talked about that before, right? Saying that getting in the way of fighters making good money is not a good way of keeping fighters. When it's time to renew these contracts, they will remember these moments. These are the moments that are gonna move the needle for them when they have to make a decision. You look like you're doing whatever you want to do right now because you have that contract on them, and you keep on painting this whole entire UFC slave contracts and Zuffa slave contracts, but you're the ones who's showing that your contracts are slave contracts because fighters is constantly trying to get out these contracts with you, mother. Oscar specifically, right? Now Don King, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Fighters are the ones who stuck with you guys as you guys do whatever the hell you feel like doing with them. Yeah. Norman Kelly, and you try to play with him, don't even tell him what he's going to make, what the fight's going to be, what the offer is, and you're just telling this man where he's going to fight at, and you keep on trying to paint it that Dana's going to do it. You guys are speculating into the space about what the future will hold with Dana White, but in real time, your promoters are doing shit in real time. In real time right now, you're not holding them accountable. You're going, Dana's going to do this, but you're not going, Don is doing this.
Right.
Oscar is doing this. You're not,
Eddie's doing this.
Disingenuous. Right. You're being disingenuous about how much you care about this Ali Revival Act and how much you care about fighters getting treated right, because when they're getting treated like shit, you're not saying nothing. You keep on projecting into the future what it's going to be. Not one fighter signed over with Zuffa is complaining about the shit you're saying they're going to go through. You're trying to tell them, I'm giving you a heads up, you're going to go through this. Meanwhile, you got a fighter taking you to court to get out of a contract with you.
Right.
Literally. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, again, we just had Jaleel Hackett, who popped in today, as our guest. And what did he tell you? In 2025, he got offered $20,000 to fight Israel Madrimov. And Madrimov had just come off a fight, main evented in August of that 2024 in LA, Eminem show with Terrence Crawford. That's the offer? Because Jaleel Hackett just got a $50,000 bonus on top of his regular money for performance of the night against Derevchenko as the opener. He wasn't even like the main event or the co-main event. He was just the opener. So at the end of the day, man, Zuffa's treating fighters better. Zuffa's offering more money. And if you just did a lie detector test across the board with all these fighters like an Amari Jones, and you asked them straight up, who would you like to get promoted by Zuffa? Yes or no? Amari Jones, I'm sure, is going to say yes, and then the lie detector test is going to pass true.
Right. He won't say that. He's on his dean. He's going to stay true to where his bread is buttered is where he's going to be at. He knows that contract holds him down. But yeah, I mean, I just think, without a doubt, in back of his mind, he's got to feel like, you play with that man's money, it's going to be a different conversation. I don't care who it is. Shout out to let me see here. H-Town says, oh shoot, hold on a second. Okay, I thought I messed up. And H-Town says, this is why promoters don't want the amendment to the Ali Act, because once they offer the fighters a personal promoter can't match, they can't block them from making their life-changing money. Boom. You know what I'm saying? 99.56 Amari Jones made $100K for his last fight as the main event. Let's see what Zuffa offers for the deal and lock it in on a Zuffa show.
See, what's crazy, Donnie and Jaleel just made more money than that against Derevchenko as an opener. I'm just keeping it real.
Right.
So that's I mean, there you go, man. Like I said, when they order it, or when it's already been ordered, but when Aaron McKenna is ready to be like, sure, man, I guess I got to defend against Amari Jones, Aaron McKenna's money is going to be fine. So the question is Amari Jones going to say no to the money?
No, first of all, they're not going to say no, because Oscar's very confident that Amari's going to go over there and take that belt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they're going to make the fight happen. He's not going to get in the way of the fight happening. He's not going to get in the way. But
I mean, that's a different conversation, but I'm not as confident, Clay.
I mean, it's okay that you're not as confident, but I'm pretty sure Oscar is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think he beats him too. I ain't gonna lie. I think Amari's gonna put the beats on him. But
we'll
that's for the fight, right? That we'll see what happens in the fight. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, the likeliness, I'm pretty sure Oscar is very confident in his ability to not go over there and lose that. He's expecting him to win that the same way he's expecting Ryan to go and win against Conor Benn. You know what I'm saying?
True. So, although he didn't want to make the Ryan Conor fight, he was against the Conor fight. So so here we go.
Because Ryan has the belt.
Yeah, so but here we go. Like let's say end of the year, Clay. End of the year, Ireland fight. End of the year, December. Aaron McKenna versus Amari Jones. You don't see Oscar getting in the way of that somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
Main event, end of the year in Ireland. Oscar's not going to sit there and be like, oh, I don't know, man. You're having my guy fight in Ireland. We can't trust the judges. All that.
Nah, he could try to play that game, but the fight's happening. He's going to try. I mean, that's going to be looked at as, I remember I talked to Amari Jones about that. He's like, sometimes, actually, he was talking about Rick Morigian. I'm bugging. He wasn't talking about Oscar, but, he knows that the hardball negotiations. But at the end of the day, Amari gets a fight. They're going to make the fight happen because they know he's going to win. You know what I'm saying? Whether other people I see Donnie saying, no way, McKenna is the truth. I ain't saying McKenna's not the truth. I just think Amari going to beat him. I think there's just a different level of, and we'll just see. Right?
Yeah, we're going to find out, man. We're going to find out. We're going to find out.
Yeah, I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Definitely put some good money on. I wonder who would be favored in that, though, in Vegas. That'd be interesting to see.
Probably 50-50, honestly.
Maybe.
Because you know what hurts Amari Jones, and this is not me trying to shit on the kid, but who in his entire 17 wins? Who's the name in his roster? Who's the name, Clay? Who's the name that you remember that's like a significant name that Amari Jones has beaten.
Well, no, it's not about the name because he hasn't fought the names. It's about the eye test. It's about what you see in him that you either see it in him or you don't. You know what I mean? Like me, I see it in him. I think him, Virgil Hunter, that whole entire situation, I just think that is a winning team. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he could not be. I mean, who does McKenna have? Liam?
Well, no, he just beat Etanisi Oliha, bro, who's the number 5 guy.
I think Omari would knock him out too. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but Etanisi Oliha. Hey, look, I didn't make the rankings, bro. I'm shocked that Jalil's not on the top 10. So I'm just saying that the ranking says
exactly
Etanisi Oliha is number 5. Amari Jones off of that win is number 7. So when you say, well, who has Aaron McKenna beat? Aaron McKenna just beat the number 5 guy. That's who Aaron McKenna beat.
You're big on the rankings. You're big on it. But my experiences, I've shot the rankings down so many times in fights. I've seen it go. I don't do rankings. I don't care. But when it comes to certain fighters, Amari Jones' talent, in my opinion, is better than Aaron McKenna.
Okay.
I think Aaron McKenna, if he presses Amari Jones the way he was pressing Oliha, he's gonna get fucked up. I think he needs to not do that. But I think he's gonna end up looking like Jerron and Xander if he plays that game. But I could be wrong. We'll find out. You know what I'm saying? But I think that Golden Boy has every right to believe. I think Golden Boy believes, like, they believe in Amari Jones' ability to do it. We'll see what you know what I'm saying. We'll see what Aaron's able to do. You know what I'm saying, in that fight for sure.
Right.
I don't do the rankings though. I don't do the 5-4, the 2-1. I don't believe in those rankings like that. Every now and then, I always go with the fighter I think is better. If it happens to work with the rankings, I rock with it. But if it doesn't, I don't let the rankings sway me. Because I've seen that shit get shot down so many times.
I get you, Edward. You're getting all mad because we have an opinion. Yeah, no. He's just saying, oh, Amari Jones is gonna knock him out. Amari Jones might knock him out, maybe, but I've just never seen Aaron McKenna even get knocked down, brother. And Aaron McKenna, like he beat Liam Smith, but Clay will rightfully say, well, Liam Smith's kind of done, Angelo. You shouldn't even count that win. Okay, cool. But he did beat Etanisi Oliha.
And who else after that?
But that's the whole thing. That's why I think it's a 50-50 fight. Because Amari Jones, for the eye test, is beating bums. Edward, that's the eye test. He beating bums. So you stop the BS. All right? You got to name me a fight that he actually has done like an Etanisi Oliha. How about
Oliha didn't do shit in that fight?
No. Hey, man, I hear you. And Amari Jones probably would have done the same to Etanisi Oliha.
He would have stopped him.
Okay, sure, maybe. Sure. But Aaron McKenna is the champ. And to be the man, you got to beat the man. So until Amari...
I'm okay with all that. But
so why am I wrong for saying it's 50-50?
I don't care about the 50-50. I don't care about the 50-50, right? What I'm saying is, I'm not even debating, right? But what I'm saying is, outside of the technical paperwork and doing the triangle theory thing, which we all know is a no-go in boxing. It fails so many times, right? And instead, going that, and bringing it together doesn't really land. I think at the end of the day, Amari Jones, as far as a fighter's concerned, his intensity, his power, his athleticism, the way he, just on the eye test, who he is, like, let's say an Abdullah Mason, right? Who gets inside of the ring, with an Albert Bell or, gets it in the future, will get in the ring with a Williams Zepeda. Some people just believe that Abdullah Mason is just more talented. I don't agree with that, by the way.
I agree with you when you're doing that. The talent thing, I agree with it. I don't disagree. And it's not like I'm shitting on Amari Jones, but I just feel like Amari Jones at 17 fights, 24 years old, he only got 3 more fights than Jalil, right? But Jalil just fought Derevchenko. So Jalil got to fight Derevchenko in his 14th fight. Amari Jones hasn't even fought a Pete Dobson or you know what I'm trying to say? I understand. Is Amari Jones talented? Yes. Could he have a really bright future? Yes. But to try to sit there and act like Aaron McKenna, I'm not talking about you, Clay, I'm talking about the chat. But to act like Aaron McKenna didn't just win the IBF title against the number 5 guy, that's diabolical, man. I mean, he might knock out Aaron McKenna, maybe. Or it could be, like I said, 50-50. Aaron McKenna versus Amari Jones would be a hell of a test, and I hope the fight happens.
Who gave Carlos Adames belt to? That's a good fight.
Yeah, that's right. Aaron McKenna. That's one of the claim to fames is Aaron McKenna went to the Robert Garcia gym and put belt to ass on Carlos
Oh,
Adames.
in the sparring?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
that's the whole thing, right? Is I mean, Carlos Adames versus Aaron McKenna would be awesome. If Carlos Adames is a free agent, if Zuffa offered him a bag to do a unification, right? That'd be a great fight. Right? That'd be awesome. So now, but Amari Jones, I guess, has that mandatory, right? So we'll see. We'll see. Hey, Leonard Sterling gave a
I saw it. It said, what do you think they do with Walsh? He was awful. Yeah, man. The Walsh has got to get in the ring more and just keep fighting. I think Walsh needs an addition to his team. They got to be honest about that. I mean, not only I think the bad thing about Kalen Walsh that he got kind of exposed is that he doesn't know what to do on the inside. And his answer to the inside game is deplorable. Nobody wants to see that shit. That whole punch tie up. Oh my God, bro. Please don't never do that again. Don't never do that again. I need to see an adjustment. I need to see you deal with that situation a lot better. He needs an addition to his team. And I agree with Coach Hector Bermudez when he spoke on that. He needs a look. He needs somebody to bring something else to what he does. Or I was not happy with what he did that night. It was not a good night for him. I see potential in him still. I do 100% see potential, but he got exposed. He didn't know what to do when it got tough, when it got on the inside. He didn't know what to do. He was all thumbs.
Right. Yeah, no. You guys know how I feel. Leonard, if you were there on,
he was
Saturday, I mean, I'm done with look, man. How many more fights? Kalen Walsh got a co-main event at the Crawford fight that I was there for, and I thought that fight was horrible. But he didn't look good against Fernando Vargas Jr., who is a bare knuckle fighter now. All right, he's not even a boxer no more. He's a bare knuckle fighter. So he had a horrible fight against a bare knuckle fighter, and then Ocampo, bro, he couldn't knock out Ocampo. He couldn't even look good against Ocampo. And then now this shit against Tyler Denny, he only got one knockout. Oh, come on, brother. We got to stop, man. Kalen Walsh better never. You know a fight I would want to see, Leonard, is let Steve McKenna fight Kalen Walsh. Let Zuffa make some money off of that. Put that in Ireland. Steve McKenna versus Kalen Walsh. I'm sure it would be a fun fight.
I don't think they should do that either. I think that'll be a waste of a good fighter. I think you're gonna put Kalen Walsh.
You're talking about Steve McKenna. It's a waste. Oh
no, it's a waste for Kalen. In other words, you're gonna get him beat and by somebody who's 6-0, and this is gonna be like, I know you guys had. If you have any vested interest in him being successful, don't throw him in there with Steve McKenna.
But that's the whole point, though. Clay is come on, bro. If you're Dana White and you've invested in Kalen Walsh the whole time, and you've now gotten him to the 17th fight, and that's what you got. You got to cut your losses at some point and let him fight somebody. Steve McKenna is not in ranked.
Give him one more chance. One more.
Oh my God.
Give him one more chance. Get an adjustment. Get an adjustment in his camp. Add somebody.
Okay, real question for you. So I was there for Misael Rodriguez versus Andres Katsarakis. That was the fight of the night. Me and Mozzie were sitting together. We were watching that. Great fight. Okay. Misael Rodriguez, who lost, I think would beat Caleb. But Andres Katsarakis, who would and I'm only saying this because Katsarakis is a forward-moving fighter, which means Kalen Walsh, who likes to do that hit and grab and move around, his style might actually work for it. How do you think that fight would go? Andres Katsarakis versus Kalen Walsh.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready to get in there with that type of fighter, but I don't know, bro. I mean, I'd rather him lose to him than lose to Stephen McKenna. Because he could lose against him.
But if you're Zuffa and you're trying to build the product, don't you make more money off of Irish, Irish shindig between
you let
Steve McKenna
take Caleb's spot? You're saying let him clip Caleb. Caleb ain't the Irish guy.
Or let Caleb clip him. Or let Caleb
right. Or let Caleb show him. Yeah, man. Listen, man. We'll see. I don't know. Caleb need to make some adjustments though. I think Stephen McKenna clips him. He's cooked. I think he's cooked. Leonard Sterling says, what do you think about the Walsh? Okay, now there was one more here that I want to go over here, my Aki. Walaikum salam, rahmatullah, barakatuh, fly frequency says Clays. Benavidez avoiding Jaya Pataya.
Yeah, he's avoiding Jaya Pataya, man. Come on. Don't let me going on this. Flyer. Come on, man. Come on.
I think Benavidez is allowing the politics of the sport to do him a big disservice. I think he's allowing Samson Lekowitz maybe Al Heyman or Lou DeCubis. I think he's allowing people to get in his ear. I don't think David Benavidez is scared of Jai Opetaia. Sorry, I'm just not playing that game.
Okay.
I don't believe that. So therefore, I don't think David Benavidez is officially like, yo, no, give me somebody else. I don't want Jai. I don't think that's what the case is. I think he doesn't want to get, I think his people don't want the fight. I think PBC don't want the fight. I think Samson Leakowitz don't want the fight. And I think he's tied up in a situation to where he's 1 or 2 fights away from being completely free. And I think he'd rather make that fight without all these tag-alongs that's involved, pleasing Samson Leakowitz, pleasing, Al Heyman. I think in a perfect world, that's what he wants. But at the same time, unfortunately, at this point in his career, he's complicit. You know what I'm saying? At this point in his career, as somebody who's shown us what can happen when he doesn't want to fight a Jesse Hart, when he doesn't want to fight, Caleb Smith for some cheap money or doesn't want to sit still, he's shown that he can be a boss and take his career and move the needle when he needs to move it and tell these guys what's up. And he's choosing not to do that right now. He's choosing to entertain fighting Selak, whatever that guy's name is, for an interim WBC title, Sislak, rather than be like, David, me and you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sorry, Jai, me and you. Or, I mean, at least speaking on it. He's even quiet about it. So, if Angelo's gonna sit here and tell you he's ducking him, I'm not gonna debate it too hard. I'm gonna let him get his licks and figure it out himself. He a big boy. He can put his big boy pants on and handle his own shit. You're not helping your situation out, allowing this to move this way, though. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Man, look. All I'm saying, Flyer Frequency, is that David Benavidez has a chance to make the most money he's ever made. Contrary to whatever people want to lie about, I was here in Vegas. It was only 7,000 people that showed up to Cinco de Mayo against Zurdo, and it was 90,000 people that bought the pay-per-view buys. David ain't that guy that's making all that money. And we started the show talking about the Haney tax. Well, what about the Benavidez tax, right? Who are you going to pay to get in front of David, to give David the money that he wants? So he can go ahead and do the Sislak fight. Hopefully that's on TNT so that David's marketability could be higher. But for all you diabolical ass crazy people who keep thinking Jai is not popular, watch how many Raider fans are going to be backing Jai on September 12th. Watch how many Polynesian fans are going to be there for Jai Opetaia. Watch the WWE guys, Roman Reigns and the whole bit. They're all going to be there for Jai. And that ain't happening for David Benavidez. So Benavidez is ducking the money and he's ducking the best. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And Jai Opetaia is the best. So there, I said my piece.
Edwin Torres. Exactly. And that's what makes it difficult to argue for him. You understand what I'm saying? You said it. Benavidez is the unified champ. He calls the shots, and that's facts. I'm glad you said it. But that did not help your argument to say that David Benavidez is not ducking Jai Opetaia.
He is ducking Jai Opetaia.
It didn't help the argument, because now you're basically saying he's the one who's moving the needles and he's the one calling the shots, and he's not calling the shots to get in the ring with Jai Opetaia, bro. So clearly, I'm putting the blame on PBC. I'm putting the blame on Samson Leakowitz. I'm helping your guy out. You over here just pretty much told me to shut my ass up, that if David really wanted to fight, he'd make the fight, but he's clearly not making the fight. That's what you just said. Welcome to the big leagues. You know what I'm saying? We can be fanboys for our favorite fighters, but we better make sure sometimes you got to hold it in. It's better to be thought of than open your mouth and remove all doubt, right? Because now it becomes even more difficult for you to argue the fact that David Benavidez is, because you're basically saying that David Benavidez is choosing to fight for an interim title rather than making the big fight with Jai Opetaia, because he is the unified champion and he does call the shots. And like you said, I won't dispute it. That's facts. Yeah.
Hey, I hope so. I mean, I don't know. I didn't look at those figures, but I hope you're right.
All you're saying is there's a reason why he's not fighting, that he's ducking Jai Opetaia. That's what you're saying. You're basically saying the reason he's not fighting Jai Opetaia is because he made more money against Zurdo than Jai made versus whoever he fought. But I promise you, for a fact, David Benavidez's biggest bag of money is against Jai Opetaia right now, because the PBC can't pay David Benavidez more than Zuffa's paying David Benavidez.
And
period.
Turkey chose Jai.
Right.
That's
what I should have said was Turkey, not even Zuffa, right? Turkey.
Right.
So the fact that that's a fight that Turkey's interested in and told him that, bro, you can't talk Edward. Who's paying him this money? Well, let's see how much he made. How much is he going to get paid to fight Sislak? How much he's about to get paid for that, Edward?
Not as much as Jai's getting paid to fight Noel McCallan.
Edward Torres, put that in the chat. How much is he going to get paid to fight Sislak? How much would he have gotten paid to fight McCallion? Do you think there's a reason why they never sent him an offer? While McCallion was sitting there wondering what the hell the offer was going to be, and there was no date called out, and there was no paperwork sent. Why did that happen? That's because there was no money in that fight. That's why it didn't happen. It's because the PBC couldn't come up with the money to pay David what he wants to make that fight. Be honest. That's why that fight didn't happen. That's why McCallion's sitting there like, where's the paperwork? That's why Jack Catterall sitting there saying, where's the paperwork? That's why Liam Paro sitting there saying, where's the paperwork? You know what I'm saying? It's all because of money. It's all because of money at the end of the day. So if David Benavidez is going to make more money than everybody else, well, where's the big fight at? Where's his announcement? It is what it is. It is what it is. Last time I checked, you know what I'm saying?
Edward, man, you're lying to yourself. Jai made $3 million. So I don't know where you're getting these figures from, bro. He said Jai made 1.5. You're tripping.
He said Jai got paid 1.5.
Okay, sure. You must know, Edward. You must know somebody on the Zoo fan. Yeah.
Chief Kojo says, I think he dug Better BF too. I don't think but it's hard to defend it, man, when you got Better BF out there saying, bro, I took the fight. You know what I'm saying? Leonard Sterling says, yes, he did. Then talking, cutting off the pie, he will end up with less net. Yes, he did. Lord. Then taking a cut off the pie, he will end up with less net.
Oh, he's talking. Leonard is talking to Edward. I think that's not.
He said, look it up. It's public record, brother. None of these guys' paydays is public record, by the way.
Yeah. You're.
That's always speculation, bro. That's always speculation. They ain't letting out their money. You never know what these guys are getting paid. We don't know what Ryan Garcia got for Gervonta Tank Davis. We don't know what Tank got for Ryan Garcia. We don't know what Devin got for that. We don't know, because these dudes ain't coming out here telling us, and their paychecks are not public. What are you talking about? Where their paychecks public at? Where is it? Where are we going around here finding out what's in people's bank accounts and how much money they're making? Where are you finding that out? You said it's public record. What public record?
Right.
I'm not familiar with that. Where's the public record at? Put the link in the chat, Edward Torres, about the link so I can go ahead and pull it up here and see the public record.
Right. It could have been reported by somebody.
Yeah, that's all it is. A report.
Yeah.
It's a report.
I mean, unless you have a direct pipeline to Zuffa, or the
guy's paycheck or his accountant, or you know what I mean. You don't know how much these guys are getting paid, man.
Right.
Come on, man. That's all speculation. It is what it is. Anyway, it's about that time for me, man. I'm bugging. I gotta go to work tonight, man. Hey, salute to everybody in the building. Hit the like button if you haven't done so. Subscribe to the channel, man. Hold on a second. I think I got one more here.
Leonard says you missed the super chat. Oh, he was debating. Okay.
Leonard said Noel said getting more to fight Benavidez gross. Noel said,
got it. So Noel McCallan on the interview was saying he was actually going to get more money to fight Benavidez, the gross net. He's going back and forth with money. Over Jai, like a little bit more, I think is what it was. Or it was I thought he said it was about the same. No, it's because he was already making a deal with Jai back in March. And he's saying that he doesn't. I think that if you rewatch,
he's saying last time I saw the interview, he said he never got an offer.
Yeah, that's what it is. Is he said he doesn't want to, and that's what it was. Is he doesn't want to play games. So I think he said something like he probably could have made the same amount, but blah blah blah. I think it's what it was.
I don't know. I watched the interview. I'll watch it again. I don't remember him saying that he got an offer from David Benavidez. He said he didn't even know how much money was on the table last time I saw it. He said that Don he didn't have access to nothing. So I got to watch the interview again. So is that, Leonard, are you saying in that interview he said he was going to get more money fighting Benavidez? From what I understand, he never got an offer. He's going based off of what Jai paid as a sanctioning fee. Oh, you're doing the math. You're going in reverse. I got you. But you don't even know what the percentage is that he paid of his if he paid the 3% or did he pay 1.5? Did they negotiate? You don't know what the percentage was. So I mean, so he said it. Okay, I don't know. Those Those are estimates, bro, not official numbers. Yeah, that's last time I checked. It is what it is, man. I appreciate everybody, man. It's about that time, man. I'm gonna get me something to eat and go lay it down, man, and get ready to go do my thing, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Y'all already know it's your boy Rain, it's your boy Reyes. It's at ATP at this point. We out.
Yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got then, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy. The riches got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me. But known for my city like OAGZ. Set the pace as long as you finish. Consumers find a way inside your business. Babble if they try to dabble in it and they hate the fact that they